My name is Clara Towson, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
I am Francisca George, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom. Yeah.
My name is Zainab Sammaz, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paolini, and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine, you got it in one time.
Okay. Hi guys. We are here for the second semi. I actually didn't watch the first one, to be honest. Did you?
No, I'm here in Seoul in South Korea, so it was way too late for me. I wasn't going to stay up for that one, but yeah, I'm up here. It's about 8:45 in the morning, and this match is about to start, so I'm ready for this one.
Yeah, I took a massive nap, so basically I didn't watch it either. But I mean, I was kind of thinking, yeah, I'm probably not gonna miss much. Maybe if I woke up at somewhere in the middle of the nap, so maybe if I saw that the score was close, maybe I was gonna watch it. But anyway, I don't really mind. Yeah. I don't know if it's a good idea for me to watch this one. Honestly, it's almost 2 a.m. But well, here we go.
But potential for this one to be certainly a more competitive match. Although the head-to-head here is definitely very one-sided in favor of Fritz. But this is actually Tiafoe's second US Open semi-final. It's the first for Fritz. I felt like in the interview before the match that Fritz sounded a little bit nervous, more so than Tiafoe did. But obviously, second semi-final for Tiafoe. I don't know how much that plays into this, but yeah, it's interesting because I feel like normally Fritz has dominated this matchup, but for Tiafoe, he seems to perform very well at the US Open, and he has been playing well in this tournament. So yeah, I don't know what your thoughts are on who you think's going to win this and how it's going to go.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of said it, like the 6-1 head-to-head is pretty devastating. The fact that like Francis's game is just a bit more high risk, I think. So I'm not really sure if that is something that really helps him here, considering Fritz is just super solid of both wings and has a good serve. Obviously, he's not like gonna allow Tiafoe to walk all over him. But yeah, I mean, the last 5 years at the US Open, you gotta be impressed with how Francis is handling this stage, and clearly it brings the best out of him. So I am hoping for a competitive match.
Yeah, he seems to really enjoy it, Tiafoe, but yeah, I've been impressed with just how Fritz has been playing as well. Just been really just hitting through the court well on the backhand and the forehand side, and just he's playing. Obviously, come through some tough matches against Ruud and Zverev as well. So not been easy opponents.
Yeah, I mean, Fritz before this year had like 0 wins against the top 10 at slams. Now 4 this year, 2 in this very event, as you mentioned, Ruud and Zverev. So it's clearly his best slam year ever. 4th round at every event, quarterfinals at 3 of them. Yeah, I don't know if that big match in the past helps out Tiafoe that much. Like just the fact that he has won semi-final before, is that supposed to be like? Because I've seen people use it as a like a huge argument. That Tiafoe has played the US Open semi before. Fritz hasn't played the semi-final at all. But like, I don't know, it's still a massive match for Francis. Like it's that hasn't really changed. He did perform pretty well in the previous one, so that's maybe something that
right. It was a 5 sets, wasn't it, against Alcaraz?
Yeah, he took the 2 tiebreaks, lost the 3 regular sets, so maybe it was a bit like in fact, maybe it wasn't as close as it kind of even seems from in hindsight. But Tiafoe was like a god in tiebreaks that US Open. He went 8-0. So And yeah, three more hours on the court for Frances. Is that a problem?
I'm not sure if it's going to be that much of a problem, but we'll maybe later on in the match if it goes long. But let's see. But I mean, yeah, it just seems to enjoy this. I mean, it's obviously a very different situation though. Even though he's played that semi-final against Alcaraz. I mean, that match he was clearly sort of the underdog. I mean, I guess he's the underdog here again, but it's a different. It's a player.
Yeah, he won't feel like it though, right? I mean, with his confidence, he's not really going to be treating himself as an underdog here. Whereas against Carlos, he probably was still.
Yeah.
I mean, Tiafoe right now kind of looks like he would back himself against anybody. But I guess the final against Sinner would be a good test of that, given, Cincinnati and, well, it's Sinner.
Yeah, I didn't see much of the Sinner match, but I just saw little clips here and there. I saw that Draper was having a tough time physically. Vomited.
Oh, really?
On the court.
Again?
Yeah, he vomited on the court apparently multiple times. Yeah, it's pretty bad. And then, there was one point that Sinner won that was just ridiculous. And actually, Sinner fell and injured his left wrist in the process. So, and I saw after the match, he was putting some ice on it. So it's obviously a bit of an issue there. But I guess maybe lucky for him that it's his left wrist and not the right one. But
well, I guess I missed quite a lot actually. Then maybe not in terms of the competitive match, but.
Yeah, but I mean, in terms of scoreline, though, it went pretty much as you sort of expected, really. I thought maybe Draper could have sneaked one set, but just laughing at Ghosty's comment here.
Yeah, especially if we got Nurlan to show up as well and Ghosty to stay on, we're definitely going to have a lot of laughs just from the chat. There was Jake earlier talking about Sinner Draper that, the score was closer than the match. So,
right.
Yeah, it didn't miss that much in the end. Oh, yeah. Donald Young, is that Jake, your YMCA reference? Is that due to Donald Young? Probably not. And we're actually going to have a breakpoint already. I don't know where our streams are. I chose one that is quite a bit slower than the usual one, so I think we should be more or less fine.
Oh, yeah, I've just seen that. That's Fritz just broken. And that's
okay. So you're a little ahead, but just barely. So don't worry about it at all. And France is not quite getting to that forehand volley on the stretch, and that's of course a great start for Taylor. I think the last time he beat him was 2016, right? He only won their first ever meeting.
Yeah, it was way back in Indian Wells, 2016. They must have been really young then, right? I mean,
19. And 20 maybe. I think they're born a few months apart, but in different years.
Would they have got in by wild cards then? I don't know if that's. I can't really remember how highly they ranked.
I would assume so, actually. Yeah. I mean, Francis maybe could have had a ranking at that time that would allow him, but I don't think Fritz would have. I'll check, but it's very possible that it was a wild card battle. I think Francis was already after winning a few challengers, but Fritz probably would have to be a wild card.
I mean, yeah, they both came through really young, actually. I mean,
they did, yeah, but they were both wild cards, yeah, in 2016 at Indian Wells.
Right, yeah, makes sense. And yeah, this is actually. The time difference here is pretty horrible, to be honest, for watching the US Open. But I mean, I was actually in New York earlier on to see some of the tennis. So I saw.
So what was it? Did you get a grounds pass, or was it?
So for the first 2 days, we had tickets on Louis Armstrong and then Arthur Ashe. So I mean, we got in early when they were on sale online, so we didn't have to pay like some of the inflated prices. And I tried to go later on, and I was actually going to go to the evening session where the one where Djokovic lost to Popperin. And unfortunately, when I was like at last minute, I was trying to do it, but then my card got declined, and I had a problem with my card, and I had to get it unblocked. And by the time I did that, I was like, yeah, it was a bit late, and I wasn't really feeling it. Kind of regretted not going afterwards, but but yeah.
That's the thing with these underdog matches, right? I mean, sometimes like the entire like maybe first 4 or 5 days of this US Open on our rush was just like awful. Everyone was winning, lopsided matches. Well, I guess that means they added doubles match, for example. So I guess it's not the end of the world, but I mean, yeah, everyone was just winning so easily. And then you suddenly just get that underdog clash where, okay, yeah, this actually works and you have an incredible match. But yeah, I guess you never know. Sometimes it's going to be Istomin Djokovic and sometimes it's going to be Djokovic. I don't know. Who did he crash? Oh, Medvedev Balazs a couple of years ago at US Open when Attila was already using the protected rankings. But yeah, that's the risk, I suppose. Tiafoe Sheraton was also, I guess, third round on Ash. But so yeah, maybe just the first 4 days were kind of uninteresting there.
Well, yeah, it's a good start here from Fritz.
Yeah, I mean, I like to do this sometimes where I like just watch 2 or 3 games and I already come up with big conclusions for the rest of the match. But it kind of looks like what I was talking about earlier, that like Francis has to play really like inside the baseline, attack the opponent, take time away. It's very tough to do it against Fritz.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Hopefully he just has like, really good patches. I think if Francis is gonna win this match, he has to be like, I don't know, 15 fantastic minutes there playing peaking tennis, and then maybe there's a bit of a, let's say, just not necessarily a lull, but I don't know, he just kind of quiets down for a while, and then again, like in very important moments, he just has some incredible, comes up with some incredible stuff, and maybe that's how you win it. Fritz is kind of like pretty boring these days, and I mean it as a compliment in a way as well.
Yeah, just efficient, and he gets the job done. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. But yeah, I mean, this match is like, I could see it maybe being straight sets for Fritz, or I mean, before this match started, or potentially going along to like 5 sets or something. But yeah, I mean, at the moment, it does look like Fritz is in control, but early days, so we'll see.
Yeah, and I guess the mental aspect always has to be considered. Either player can be pretty nervous here. I don't know if they have a good chance against Yannick. Let's see how that left wrist issue is that you were talking about. But
right.
Anyway, final. And a big story as well for the Americans. I mean, they haven't had a Grand Slam finalist since Roddick in 2009. They haven't had a Grand Slam finalist at the US Open since Roddick in 2006. First semi-final between 2 Americans since 2005, between Agassi and Ginepri. So there's quite a lot of history. And I actually remember seeing a lot of tweets at the very start of the event where ESPN was trying to build the story, like, is this the year when one of the Americans has a shot at a title? And I remember seeing a ton of tweets which were like, no, I can already tell you, no, like, this is such a idiotic way to frame the event or something like that. And I didn't necessarily disagree with these tweets, but right now, actually, it turns out that ESPN was kind of right. I mean, this is the event where the Americans can actually kind of change the tide, the male Americans, because of course, so many American women have won since.
Yeah, and we've got an American in the women's final as well, so unusual for, I mean, yeah, I don't know when the last time was that we had both a man and a woman in the men's and women's finals at the US Open, but
gotta be both 2009 Wimbledon at the US Open.
Yeah, for like American. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think actually I saw that it might be as far back as 2003 or 2000. two.
I'm thinking about 2003, yeah, because I think 2005 and 6 maybe wouldn't, but I actually don't remember, to be honest. But yeah, 2003, I think maybe Roddick and Serena. But...
Right. Yeah, Roddick got to the final, didn't he? And then he won it, and then yeah.
I think that might be the case, but let me check 2005 and 6, because 2005 Andre Agassi was in the final, yeah, but there was no Americans. Oh no, 2003 Serena was in the final, so 2002 was the Williams sisters playing, and I guess 2002 would have been Sampras as well, right? So Sampras
yeah.
So yeah, 2002 they had both finals were all American, and since then, yeah. That was the last time when both competitions had Americans in the final.
Yeah, I remember back in the days it was Americans all dominating the tennis, but yeah, things have changed a lot.
In terms of like sheer volume of players, the number of them they still dominate, but yeah,
you're right.
They just haven't been winning the big events on the men's side. I saw an interesting, something that really blew my mind was actually about the junior event, because when it was starting, there were 40 matches on day one, and 31 of them included an American, which is just pretty insane.
Wow.
I'm not sure how that correlates to I haven't checked to the whole draw. Maybe that was just maybe they scheduled a lot of Americans on day one of the junior event. I don't know, but that's insane, and might suggest that the American dominance is still very much there, and maybe in a few years we will see a lot more of that.
Yeah, and a few young Americans coming through on the Challenger Tour, right? There's
always a few young Americans coming through the Challenger Tour.
Yeah.
I mean, 2022 had Ben Shelton. 2023 in the same vein had Alex Michelsen. I don't know if there's anyone right now who's kind of matching them, but certainly, with all the events in the States, it's also pretty wild because that's literally the only country in the world where you can do a Shelton, in the sense that before the 2023 season, so when he was already in the top 100, Shelton had never even left the country. So you can literally just play tennis in the States all year long and still be ranked very high. So I think I saw an interview of Donald Young, of course, who was retiring at this event, and he kind of just said that after the pandemic, things kind of started going worse for him, of course, with his career. But basically that there just weren't that many events in the States anymore. And that's kind of what contributed to it as well. But you can literally play the whole year in the States, and you're probably going to be fine for a ranking in the top 150 or something like that. So yeah, it's still an American world in the tennis landscape. But yeah.
Hey, is Donald Young still in the tournament? Because he was in the mixed doubles, wasn't he?
The mixed doubles final was yesterday. And they lost to Araneva.
Well, I suppose it's still a nice way for him to go out.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I mean, something he hadn't done before, really, at the pro level, at least. Of course, he's won 2 junior slams. I hear that it was actually a little, the tennis community in the States did not really enjoy the fact that he got the wild card.
Right. I mean, he wasn't really doing anything for a while, right? I mean, he wasn't
playing for a year, but that's not really what it's all about. He's retiring, so I think they would be fine with it. But there are two things. He's playing pickleball professionally now, and that's one of them.
Right. Yeah.
And also throughout his career, I mean, he was getting special treatment all the time. I mean, after the junior prodigy days, of course, it was understandable, but I think it kind of never really stopped. Even when his career was long way from even his prime as a pro, so he got to 38 or something like that. But even when he was 2021, 2022, he was getting challenger wildcards pretty much all in every event in the country, more or less. So I think some people didn't really like that. I don't know. I mean, it's still mixed. I mean, he still got to the final as well. Would the players who were complaining, would they have gotten to the final? I'm not sure. So,
yeah. Oh. Tiafoe up in the pace here, and he comes out on top there to bring it to Juice. So he is fighting back here.
Yeah, he's had a few really nice like backhand strikes here. This one down the line. 2 points ago, there was a cross-court winner as well. Got David Witt on our screens. Of course, he joined the Tiafoe box very, very recently and seems to have given him some welcome change. I mean, we never really know how much of that is an impact of the coach, but the timing here is definitely very nice for Mr. Witt. And we will have a breakpoint for Francis as well.
Yeah. Yeah, pacey, deep shots here from Tiafoe. And well, that's a good response from him. If he can actually pull off this breakpoint.
And he will. Kind of grinds it out this time, but it works. Taylor's forehand is into the net, so 3-2. And, well, they're back on serve.
And I wonder if... I'm not too sure, actually. I mean, do you think the crowd will be favouring either one of the players? Maybe Foe? I'm not sure, but... I'm not too sure about that, but...
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm watching on mute, obviously, but... Oh, did the scores stop updating? I guess they did. Okay, no, they're fine.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I've got the sound on low, so I can hear them a little bit, but
yeah, I guess it's an interesting point. I mean, usually we of course tend to say that the home crowd favors the American guys and stuff, but like, here, is it just going to be quiet? Is it just going to be like a super loud crowd? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good point from Brazy. Is that Tiafoe, the way he plays and his energy that he brings onto the court, it's maybe he's going to pull more of the crowd in his favor, but we'll see though. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty interesting. Yeah, for sure. If either, I mean, I think it's much less likely in the men's, but we could have an American winner again at the US Open. I mean, who was the last winner that we had? That was
Roddick.
No, but among the women as well.
I mean, Sloane or no, Coco last year. I mean,
right, of course, yeah, right, of course, Coco.
Before that, I guess Sloane, but
yeah, right. Yeah. So it was a while before. Sloane was like back in 2017. Yeah, 17. Yeah,
and that was an All-American final as well.
Yeah,
but sorry, yeah, that's true.
It feels a bit different if Pegula was to actually do it, in the sense that, like, she's kind of been at the top for a little while now. So, I mean, her winning a slam has not been sort of completely out of the question. I mean, but obviously she's struggled to get past any quarterfinals. But but she's obviously, I mean, she come into this winning a couple of well, she won the 1,000 event, right? So she's done well coming into the event.
Yeah, I mean, if you're winning 2 WTA 1000s, like, there's absolutely zero reason why you can't be winning slams on the WTA side, because the format is different. So, I mean, there might be a reason, like mentally or something like that, but it definitely would be amazing, and it wouldn't be anything extraordinary for Arena is still the favorite, though. Obviously, she beat her in
Yeah, for
Cincinnati.
sure.
She's been unstoppable. But yeah, I mean, Pegula turning that quarter-final corner around is of course massive, and doing it with a Świątek win as well. I don't really care how poorly Iga played.
Oh,
I mean, still. Yeah, that's a pretty fantastic point, that's for sure. And he
nice
still
passing
makes that
shot.
shot. Yeah. Foe using that forehand slice instead of just like, I don't know, I mean, just, trying to keep Taylor guessing, I guess, but did not work out in this case.
Mm.
Someone a second ago in the chat was also asking, when do serious nerves begin or like kick in? I think it was Dave, right? Yeah.
I mean, when you get near to the match point, I would imagine, but
Was Taylor Fritz's dad really in Back to the Future?
what, really?
I don't know.
Okay, we've got a break point here.
Yeah. Francis trying to up the variety game again, and well.
Yeah, great serve, and yeah, good 1-2 from Tiafoe. So back on juice. Oh, I mean, I thought it was a good point construction from there from Tiafoe, but yeah, obviously Fritz falling there, but he's okay.
Yeah, this time he makes good use of the drop shot, even though Fritz tracked it down and fell over. Okay, yeah, I don't really see anything about Taylor's dad being in Back to the Future, to be honest. Anyone remember a player named Tennis Sandgren, says Brazy? How old do you think we are? Of course we remember Tennis Sandgren. Best name ever? Oh, one of the best ones in tennis, that's for sure. And somehow a two-time Grand Slam quarterfinalist, in fact, was very, very close to making the semis. 7 match points. Stayed pretty relevant with his Twitter discussions as well later on.
There's Rory McIlroy on the crowd. Golfer.
And I don't know if still, but he was definitely the husband of Caroline Wozniacki for a while. I don't know.
That's right.
Still is. I don't know actually, and I wouldn't have known who that is. So that's good. That
yeah.
I know him by name and reputation rather than by the way he looks.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately I know who he is. I'm not a big golf fan, so. But
why? Unfortunately.
I just don't really like golf, so but it's always just, I'm aware of it. It's always there. It's popular in the UK, and then it's also popular here in Korea. So
yeah, I would have recognized Tiger, maybe Jack Nicklaus or Arnold Palmer, but otherwise I'm pretty much done. But yeah, I actually read a tweet today about golf, which kind of said that the prize money there is even more insane than in tennis. There are like 13 events or something like that throughout the year where the winner gets more than the winner of the US Open.
Right.
And yeah, even by winning, like I think all the major events this year in tennis, you wouldn't have gotten as much as someone did for like winning the Masters or whatever it was. Maybe I don't remember, but 20 something with $23 million basically for the winner, which is pretty insane to me. Like it doesn't seem like the two sports are similarly popular, but well,
Yeah,
maybe
I mean,
they
I
are.
remember looking at that as well and comparing how much it was to win one of the majors, and yeah, and I was surprised. Yeah, it was. I don't think it was similar anyway to tennis, and you're saying it's even more. So yeah, I'm not too surprised by that, but I mean, it's interesting. Yeah, I mean, it is a popular sport and it's an expensive sport.
It's a similar background to
Similar
tennis.
to tennis, yeah, it's similar in that
Yeah.
way. I wonder if that's maybe partly because of the like the general prize money. I mean, the locations in which it's played as well, but I'm not, but I don't know. I'm not entirely sure, but of course, you know, there's some tennis connection there as well because you know, in the women's side, we've had Nelly Korda's the number one, of course, Seb Korda's sister.
And Andy Murray will play his first golf event soon. Casper Ruud did play a few as well, I think, and Rafa.
Yeah. I saw Ruud commenting on Nadal's technique, saying it's horrible, but apparently, you know, Nadal gets good results on the golf course. So
we have another breakman for Tiafoe. Fritz has kind of like really deflated after this first few games. The double fault here for 15-30. Now he gets rushed on the forehand corner. And yeah, this could be huge. This could be a complete turnaround after the first 3 games. We are kind of afraid that Tiafoe might not really hold up all that well, you know, after these first few games. But like right now, he's actually playing this for a win, if you may.
Oh, opening up the court nicely there, and that's a break there for Tiafoe. Wow.
Yeah, that's a pretty incredible point. Survived that long cross-court rally, mixed in the slice. Once he got his chance, he was there with the quick to hit down the line combo. And yeah, he's got 4-3 with a break after going down initially. 0-3.
Yeah, I wonder if obviously they've played each other a lot before, and they've even played in Australia, I think. But I wonder how weird it is for them. You know, obviously they're pretty close, right? They know each other for a long time, and yeah, to play such a big match against someone that you're quite friendly with, I imagine it must be quite weird. Like, but even though that they've, you know, because I think when was that in Australia? I don't remember what round it was. It certainly wasn't a late round like this. So
no, second round, I think.
Right. So yeah, different kind of feeling there, sure.
Jake, no, please. Oh my god. And yeah, apparently Rory McIlroy and Wozniacki are not together anymore. I felt that there was something like that. I that's why I was kind of like uncertain.
Yeah, I think that was a long time ago. They broke up, but of course Wozniacki, she came back.
Yeah, forefront here.
Yeah, and doing pretty well. Some other players who've made the comeback have struggled, but I mean, doing not too bad.
Not too bad, but also like, doesn't really seem like she'll be, you know, coming
for slams,
major titles. Yeah, I mean, she made like a Indian Wells quarterfinal, I guess, a couple of fourth rounds at the slams, but yeah, it never really felt like she's a major contender again. Well, if she's happy, who knows? This year she got like a godlike draw to the 4th round, and well, she managed to take it like very, just lopsidedly beating 3 opponents. So I guess that's good as well. And yeah, Frances Tiafoe serving 4-3 up. Really nice opportunity to take the first set.
Oh, wow. That backhand cross court from Fritz right on the edge of the line, I think, or just on the line. Yeah. That was very nice.
Yeah. Tiafoe was kind of like more impressive most of the rally. Just go to the baseline and seemingly no harm that Fritz can do to him, but suddenly from that deep backhand position, he actually did.
Oh. Yeah, it was a bit of an awkward volley there from Tiafoe. But
I missed the point.
He gets away with it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Now I'm seeing it on the replay. He's going to laugh about it a bit, but the important thing is he's got the point. And he definitely has one here after that slider is very much out of Fritz's reach. Also would be pretty wild if Tiafoe wins, because we would get both Cincinnati final rematches. You know, both women's singles and men's singles. I think on the men's, it's only happened once before, and that was 2015. And well, the results of these finals were different, so that's some hope for Tiafoe potentially.
2015, you said, so it would have been
Djokovic and Federer.
Djokovic, Federer, yeah.
Federer unleashes the saber in Cincinnati and then loses the US Open final. Well, trying to make it work as well. Kind of doing it, just being like 4 out of 23 on breakpoints, I think. Painful match. I remember watching late at night. I don't know why it was that late, actually. Right now, they seem to start the US Open finals at 4 p.m., I think, but must have been later back then, I guess. I don't know. Not really sure. Ooh, yeah, that backhand floats from Tiafoe, so we actually have a breakpoint for Fritz now. Yeah. This has been very topsy-turvy. I guess most Tiafoe matches are.
That was a good. Yeah.
I was doing the watch along for the first match Tiafoe had this event against Kovacevic, and John kind of clipped some of the things that I said there after the match and put them on YouTube, and he keeps posting them. And there's a quote that he's using, which is like totally out of context, but basically I said something like, after the first 2 sets, I thought that Tiafoe, this looked like title winning form or something like that. So he's posting this with a comment like, I thought he could take the title or something like that. After 2 sets, I thought he could take the title. And at first I was like, Geez, I mean, this is a quote that's totally out of context because I was just talking about him being like super good for the first 2 sets, like, you know, really
Yeah,
just
you're right.
the peak mode.
Okay.
But if he keeps going, you know, feel free to do it, John. I mean, feel free to keep posting that quote, even though it's out of context. At that stage, yeah, sure, go for it. And someone who is going for it is Francis Tiafoe. 5-3 up, saves that breakpoint with an ace out wide, and has the game as and like again a fantastic opportunity to take the first set. A bit of a free hit here now on the return. Saber is just a chip in charge executed Swissly. I mean, he was like taking them super early, and there's no chip in it either, right? Oh yeah, I know what you're saying. Wow, now with this Tiafoe back in return.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no chip, Dave, in the chip in charge, right? I mean, he was just literally running up to the service line and taking the return right away. So I guess, yeah, right now we call every single play like that Saber. In fact, sometimes even incorrectly, as the US Open account did a few times. Okay, it stayed on Tiafoe's side, sure. That could have been a ridiculous netcode. But yeah, I mean, there's no chip element in it.
Oh, that forehand going wide from Fritz. Really going for it there, but
some love for Michael Russell as well in the chat. To be honest, don't remember that much from his playing career. This year he came up in a very interesting story when I think we realized that Richard Gasquet, when he last played Grand Slam qualifying, and of course he came back to that level after like 20 years at Wimbledon and then at the US Open, he actually got defaulted against Michael Russell. So that was kind of fun. But otherwise, I don't remember much from his playing career. Yeah, for trying to find another absolute stunner of a return, but this time doesn't make it.
Okay. Well, yeah. Tiafoe will serve for the first set. Let's see if he can hold his nerve.
That was just barely on the baseline from Fritz there, yeah.
Right, yeah.
After the net as well, I think. But yeah, after the break, 5-4. So far, definitely seems to be relishing the atmosphere a bit more than Fritz, but I guess we already knew that might be the case.
Yeah, and I mean, that's kind of, you know, like he's like, he brings that kind of like positive energy, like, and yeah, he seems to thrive in New York. I said before that Fritz is looked a bit nervous, but I mean, I don't think nerves are always a bad thing, because I mean, it just means that you care. And I think when they get out onto the court, then it's a different story usually. But yeah, but I do think, yeah, it's definitely much bigger though for Tiafoe, I think, to get this first set. Now it's going to be a bit of a struggle. Let's see if you know, can Fritz find it to come back here. I mean, I think in some of their previous matches, yeah, I don't know if I remember like Tiafoe actually going up a set, except maybe in that very first match that they had. But
I think they might have had one like 2 or 3 years ago. But yeah, I mean, after beating him in Indian Wells in 2016, Francis only won 2 sets in the next 6 matches they played. So.
Right.
But I think there was one where maybe he went up a set.
Right. Yeah, there might be one. Yeah, but obviously, just saying in the matchup, you know, he hasn't won much. I mean, almost like that 2016 doesn't count almost because it's so long ago. But it's like.
Yeah, it was Canada 2 years ago. He won the first set and lost.
He still lost, right? Yeah.
If 2016 Indian Wells doesn't count, then probably 2016 Winston-Salem doesn't count either.
Right.
But yeah, after that we're already off to 2019 for one match, and then the last few were 2022 and 2023. So pretty relevant, pretty recent.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, neither at the US Open. And Francis has
Damien has frozen for me. I don't know if you guys can hear him, but I don't think so. Tiafoe with an excellent first serve. And that brings it to 30 love.
Okay, I'm back, I think.
Oh yeah, you just froze up there. I don't know what happened, but
yeah, my phone decided to turn off the hotspot for whatever reason. I don't know why. Happens sometimes.
And we've got 3 set points here for Tiafoe. Yeah. Very good. And there is Tiafoe signaling to the crowd. Well, I mean, for Tiafoe, actually, I mean, making the final is one thing, and obviously that'd be great for him. For him to actually win it would be, I mean, that would be incredible, really. Obviously, I mean, it'd be big as well for Pegula to beat Sabalenka, but it'd certainly be less surprising for Tiafoe, obviously, because, you know, than Tiafoe, because what's Tiafoe's ranking now?
20-ish.
20 something, right? But
yeah, I mean, he was seeded 20, so definitely 20. But after the US Open, he will be slightly higher already, even if he loses here. I mean, he's only getting 300, like, you know, an extra 300, 400 points. But yeah, number 16, if he loses today, if he wins, that would be number 13. And if he won the title, he would be back in the top 10.
yeah, and when was the last time a man won a slam from outside the top 10? I'm trying to...
Federer 2017, that's a guess. I don't know yet.
Yeah, that would make sense, but yeah, it's been a while. I mean, we're thinking ahead. We'll see. We're thinking ahead quite far there, but yeah.
Yeah.
And there's those cocktails.
Very often as well when we have this situation, so like we've got 2 players who maybe weren't necessarily in the touring contention. That's also something to look at, because like, you know, you win a slam and you're basically guaranteed. Because yeah, I mean, you're pretty much guaranteed on the men's side at least, because you're gonna have 2,000 points. You're gonna be in the top 20. And there's no other like random slam champions this year, so yeah, winning the title definitely means automatic touring qualification for either player from this lineup. I mean, for Francis, obviously it's a bigger deal because Taylor might just get there anyway. I mean, he's number 7 in the race even if he loses this match. But Francis isn't really like that close to being in the qualification zone, so
yeah, for sure.
Some question from Jake. Thoughts on this set so far? Things Tiafoe doing well, things Taylor needs to do. I mean, it's pretty tricky, I guess, for Taylor when Francis is playing well. I mean, he's not too fluid of an athlete. He's kind of one-dimensional. There's not that much he can mix up. But yeah, impressed with the turnaround from Tiafoe for sure. First 3 games were just looking like, yeah, his high-risk game might not necessarily work here with just how solid and heavy Taylor hits off both wings, but I think he's found a very nice balance of his aggression, just choosing his spots pretty wisely, but also grinding down Fritz on a few important points. I think Taylor definitely looks a lot more edgy and like not in love with the atmosphere of this match and the entire encounter. So maybe Tiafoe can even start pushing for it even more, just try to engage with the crowd even more and just completely get Taylor to like freeze up. We'll see.
Yeah, at the moment, it does feel like Tiafoe does look. Oh, that drop shot was not well executed. Just as I was about to sing his praises, he does that. So, but yeah, in terms of the energy at the moment, yeah, Tiafoe just looks more fired up. But I mean, for Fritz, he's just got to keep hitting. He's been hitting really well throughout this tournament, but he's got to be making a few more. Yeah, okay. Well, he gets the error there from Tiafoe, but
Okay, that was kind of weird that Francis didn't really.
Yeah, he didn't move for it.
Yeah, like he didn't really. I don't think he was really like planning to move at all after the return. He just played a pretty deep return and then just stood there. But yeah, anyway, the first game goes to Fritz. Quite crucial given how he lost 6 of the previous 7. I read comments chat a month later. Yeah, sorry, Brazy. Gotta get myself a second screen here, and just have the chat, have the stream, have the match.
Fritz is. I mean, it's definitely. You feel like. I mean, it could still go 5 even if Tiafoe wins this set, but it feels like for Fritz to come back from 2 sets down, I mean, that would be perhaps too difficult, but yeah.
Probably Tiafoe would find something like, across 3 sets, I'd kind of back him to find a one where he's just really good and gets an early lead or something. But of course, that's maybe also when the nerves could come up. And so far, he looks like he's been here before, and in fact, he has been here before, and hasn't performed. He performed very well in that 2022 semi for sure. Was, I guess, one of 3 players that took Alcaraz to 5 that event, but still.
Have you been to any of the majors, Damien? Have you attended any of the slam events? And Damien? Okay, he's gone. Yeah, nice 1-2 there from Fritz. Do you all know Tiafoe has a twin brother? Does he really? Okay, it looks like we've lost Damien for a while. Okay, that was Another good point from Fritz there. So looks like he's going to hold here easily again. And that's a excellent serve there for Fritz to hold. So 2 easy holds for him in this second set. And we've got Damien back.
Brazy is talking about my energy. I'm energetic today. I think I am. I've definitely had streams where I felt much worse. That was just an internet thing. I actually don't know if I know that Francis Tiafoe has a twin brother, if he really does, because there's been some info that was wrong in the chat before. And no, I was not. I did not attend any slams.
All right, you heard that. Okay.
Yeah, I heard your question and I replied to it. And then suddenly your question just kind of kept getting longer. And then that's when I realized that, okay, you did not hear me replying to it. So, but yeah, no, not yet. I don't know if there was that much really in terms of like my interest in going to the slam. Maybe I would like to go to like the first week of something, or maybe the qualifying. But
yeah,
well, as a fan, like I don't really intend on going anywhere. As you know, if it ever comes up in some sort of media way, sure. I would love it if there were different accreditations for qualifying and for the actual thing.
Right.
I would like to go to Roland Garros or to Wimbledon then for the qualifying week. But
I went to the qualies as well. I should have said at
the US Open.
US Open. Yeah. So I went to the final qualifying day. I made it, and yeah, that was actually cool. I mean, it's free to attend that week. So, yeah. So I saw Bu against Karatsev, and Bu qualified. It wasn't the greatest match, but meanwhile, it was adjacent to me was Fonseca against who was Fonseca playing? And yeah, I mean that was a really exciting match.
Spizzirri.
Yeah, that's right, Spizzirri. I mean, obviously it was a great atmosphere on that court. A lot of Brazilian fans, and then of course a lot of American fans, and then yeah, I was watching Karatsev against Bu. It was a bit more subdued because you know it wasn't such an exciting match, but then yeah, the atmosphere at the qualies was good. Yeah, yes, Brazy, I saw Bu and Chaquete in real life. I mean, I've seen him before actually because he played the Seoul Challenger events here, so and Busan as well actually. So I've seen him at the Challengers, and it was kind of a surreal experience actually because you know you see these guys at the Challengers, and then like for like Lee Tu, seen him down in Busan like in front of no people, and then he's playing like Carlos and you know and taking a set off him. So
Lee Tu has definitely had matches this year or last year where like, yeah, if you watched him, you'd be like, okay, this guy has like 0 game, no chances at the challenger level whatsoever. And then, yeah, over the past month, he's just the best he's ever been.
Yeah, it's funny that is. I mean, he's a pretty good athlete, isn't he? So he showed that he's a good athlete, but yeah, obviously was lacking in the confidence in his tennis. But
yeah, he is a good athlete. He's kind of like a Hijikata, different version of Hijikata's playstyle. I think they both have this like really like turbo mode that they can turn on, and then they're gonna make every ball. And of course, there's a famous win he got over Yibing Wu in the Challenger final a couple of years ago when he was just everywhere.
Yeah, that was the one in Seoul. So I was at that match, and yeah, that was great. I mean,
all right, yeah, I forgot it was Seoul. I kind of tend to mix up all these, you know, South Korean, Japanese, actually any event really on the planet where there's like a few events in a row in one country. I just mix them up completely. So.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, usually the Korean Challengers swing, it's like all the same entry list pretty much. They all just enter like because it's the 3 events.
Exactly. So
2 or 3 events. Yeah.
At first, I wanted to say it's just about Asian challengers, but then I realized no, it's actually the whole world. Like I never know which Italian challenger it was. I never really know which American challenger it was. But yeah, it's a little easier. It's just like one event per country a year, and then I easily remember. But yeah, not with these. But yeah, that was a great final. Of course, Ibink was perceived as a huge favorite there, and Lito kind of just stopped him for just a brief second. A few months later, we won Dallas. Well, this is another quick game, so this match is kind of maybe steadying up now. Both players just racing through their service games here at the start of the second, which was something we did not really see in the opener.
Yeah, of course. You mentioned Wu Yibing, who recently made a comeback, but then I think he retired, didn't he, in his last match? So obviously that's a bit concerning. But
he retired this week. Yes, I mean he won Jinan, then in Zhangjiagang he was pretty tired, lost to Gombosh. Nothing poor about that, of course. But then this week he was up a set when he was forced to retire. So he was getting massaged like during the MTO after 5 games in the second set or something like that, and then he actually even retired mid-game. But yeah, it's unfortunately the story of his career, really. So
yeah, it was a shame because obviously, I mean, we were expecting him maybe to be the one that he maybe made some progress, more than Zhang has even done. So yeah, obviously doesn't look likely if he's going to have these physical issues.
Yeah, I mean, all his rise to the top happened after 3-year hiatus. So, like, yeah, it's always been like this for him, and unfortunately, it's still going. But who knows? He has not played all that much pro tennis, actually, considering with everything that has happened in his career. But obviously, the patches we've had him kind of healthy and playing a lot, these were extremely impressive. And even this year, I mean, he comes back, he wins Jinan right away. He played Houston as well in April. He qualifies there.
Brazier was asking if there was many Chinese fans there at the Open. Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's always quite a lot of Chinese fans anywhere you go, but like, yeah, there were quite a few there. I mean, there was also surprisingly a lot of, well, maybe not that surprising. We're in New York, so there's a lot of, during Alex Ayala's match, there's a lot of Filipino fans there. And yeah, I think in the US especially, you got a lot of people from Latin America. So there was definitely like a lot of fans there watching Schwartzman, Argentine fans, or like a lot of fans there for Fonseca. So it adds to the atmosphere a bit, and that's good.
So were the Fonseca fans louder than the Speed City fans, or?
Well, they were both pretty loud, so I was kind of a bit of annoyed that I wasn't on that court. But yeah, no, the Brazilian fans, they had like a whole little part of the stand there. They're all together cheering for Fonseca. So yeah, must have been nice for him. Shame about the result.
According to the stat I just saw on my screen, they're winning their games in set 2 in like an hour, a minute and a half average. So yeah, it's definitely been a different scenario than the opener. Tiafoe has actually lost a point here, 40-15, but still very much in control as he tries to get us to 3-all. And I wanted to say he will, and he will, but Taylor kept himself in it a bit longer than I expected. And I think Francis is gonna change his racket now, given it's ball change.
Oh, Brazy just asking if I've been to Roosevelt Avenue in Jackson Heights. Yes, I think I did go there. That's near the US Open, right? So yeah.
Yes, Jake, I remember. Oh, and once again, I'm getting to comments 10 minutes later. But yes, I remember that late streamed. I was thinking about that, yes. That wasn't actually that late. That was maybe like 11 p.m., but I was just very tired after the whole day of tennis in Mauthausen. And yeah, that was literally the worst I've ever been on a stream energy-wise, for sure. I'm not surprised you remember that, because that was insane. How many of the Chinese players are living and training overseas? I guess only the biggest names, right?
I mean, I guess certainly Shang is doing that, and
yeah, I mean Shang, Zhang, Wu, they've all been pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably for the best, because I know that some of the other players that were kind of in the past were kind of like forced to like stay in the sort of like Chinese system, but it's not really. It was kind of holding them back a bit, but so yeah, that's that area near Queens and Flushing. It's actually just like a little China. It was actually quite surprising. Yeah, a lot of Chinese food and Asian food that you can get there. So
well, we keep going with that streak of very uncompetitive games.
Yeah. Well, is it going to go to a tiebreak, perhaps?
Yeah, 7 out of 12 into the tiebreak. That's what I was thinking as well. Someone is bringing another towel for Francis, which he's kind of going to have on his shoulders. Definitely spends a lot of time at the gym. I'll give him that. And he is taking his shirt off anytime he can. It's like Marton Fucovic showing off his abs. You know, he's gonna do it anytime there's like even the slightest possibility to.
Hey, that's how he gets his endorsements.
Well, kinda, yeah. I mean, that's probably one of the main things that people think about when they think of Fucovic, which, well,
right.
He's a great player, but yeah, I mean, not like good enough for his results to actually overshadow, I guess, his physique, and yeah, that also can be a way of gaining sponsors, attention, sure. Although in his case, I don't know. I doubt he's doing it for that reason. I think he's a very, very quiet guy, kind of doesn't really care about that sort of stuff, like social media or
Right,
sponsorships. I think he's just like, yeah, he's a pro. He comes out, does his job. Right, Francis serving at 3-4. We've got 68 minutes into the match, so yeah, at least it's going pretty fast, which is good for me. Oh, 66, sorry, even I misread it from the distance.
Oh. Yeah, that was nicely done there. Not easy to hit those kind of volleys, but...
Oh, okay. And Roddick famously missed pretty much this shot on one of the set points against Roger in the 2009 Wimbledon final, the last time we had an American Grand Slam singles finalist. That was, I think, at 6-5 maybe already in that tiebreak, but he earlier led 6-2, lost the set, and eventually lost the match, although it would be kind of unfair to say he lost the match right there, given the fifth set went to 16-14. But I mean, it certainly contributed. That was definitely the closest he was to beating Federer at a slam.
Yeah, that was very nice there from Tiafoe, that backhand down the line, just taking it early. Yeah, that must have been a horrible feeling to lose that final, but it was a classic.
Yeah, I saw that. What was that? Yeah, I think the last few times, like the last 4 or 5 times when an American was in the U.S. Open semis, they were all losing to Federer. So like, basically, they just they're just constantly stopped by him there. And yeah, 4 games all, still extremely rapid this set, and even though we are at 4 games all, feels like we've just begun really. I think. Well, was there an American semifinalist at the French in the past few years, other than Tiafoe? I guess Sam Querrey maybe made one.
Sam Querrey definitely made the Wimbledon semi-final. That was
It was the quarters that year. Okay, it was the quarters. Yeah,
right.
He lost to Kevin Anderson. Yeah, it was the quarters, not the semis.
I mean, pretty good for Querrey to make a quarterfinal at Roland Garros. I mean, that's.
Roland Garros?
Did you say Roland Garros?
Oh yeah, I thought about the U.S. Open. That's my mistake then.
Okay.
No, I was just thinking the U.S. Open. Yeah, no, that would be insane if Sam Querrey made the quarters at Roland Garros. Yeah,
I was a bit surprised.
Yeah, that's just a slip of the tongue. I don't know if any of these big serving Americans made it. I don't think so. Actually, even Andy Roddick, I think, doesn't have a French Open quarterfinal.
Oh, that drop shot, but it was. Oh no! So Fritz gets away with that one because off the tape, and it dribbles over, but Tiafoe gets to it, but can't get it over himself.
Yeah, I almost thought, because when you said a drop shot, and I was like, Fritz is in a better position in this rally. Is Taylor Fritz gonna hit a drop shot? But I should have known better. I mean, Taylor Fritz was definitely not gonna go for a drop shot. It's always gonna be Tiafoe here, and yeah. Sloppy tennis, said Dave in the chat a few minutes ago, but I guess the previous game from Tiafoe was actually really outstanding. But yeah, right now it's just kind of big serves, quick points, and we are slowly but surely cruising towards that tiebreak. 75% in by now. I think Fritz won both tiebreaks against Zverev in the quarterfinals and actually dominated them, kind of. Tiafoe might be a better player, like mentally, in these key moments than Zverev, but then again, that might not hold up in a huge match like this. We'll see.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's hard to really sort of pick which way this one's going to go, despite the head-to-head.
Yeah, I mean, Tiafoe is definitely performing better than their previous matches so far. And that's good. That means we have a match.
Yeah, there's
more fluctuation of his game generally, so we'll see. But so far, he's been pretty steady as well. The atmosphere, we know that it can really help him out too. That's, I think, Andy Roddick, in fact.
Yeah, it was
Tracy Austin as well, and someone. Tracy Austin's son, Brandon Holt, famously beat Taylor Fritz on this court 2 years ago. And well, now Taylor is in the US Open semifinals, and Brandon is not.
Yeah, so yeah, Andy Roddick, the last man to be in a US Open final from the US.
Yeah, 2006. I think that list that I was talking about earlier was, just the last few losses for in slam finals. Basically, Americans in slam finals after 2003 US Open, and all of them lost to Federer. All of them being just 2 players in 4 finals, but still, it was a funny looking list.
Agassi he played against Federer pretty late on in his career.
2005.
Right, yeah.
And then we've got Roddick 3 times, yeah. Roddick also, Roddick like 2004 Wimbledon, 2005 Wimbledon, I think, and 2009 Wimbledon. Oh, and 2006 US Open as well.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Big return there from Fritz, return winner. And perhaps a little half chance here to take this set. Let's see how Tiafoe holds up.
Is he stepping up here? That was definitely a nice touch from him too. Just absolutely slammed that second serve return. Tiafoe feeling pretty safe.
But that was a great first serve from Tiafoe. So responding very well. Oh. Wow. Fritz coming out on top. I feel like there's been a lot of net cords being hit in this match.
Yeah, 2 net cords at this point, basically. Well, not deciding the outcome, but certainly helping out Fritz. Survive, eventually get to the net, get the volley in, 40-30, and a set point for Taylor to get us to 1 set all. A bit out of nowhere, given how the entire set was progressing, but these 4-5 games, 5-6 games tend to be trickier than the other ones, of course. The opponent kind of has nothing to lose. You've got everything to lose.
Body serve from Tiafoe working really well. And we're at deuce.
That should be a pretty nice combo from him as well. Yes, he puts it away. So he saved the set point. We'll get a chance to go 5-all now. I don't know. I mean, if he also takes a 2-set to love lead, saving a set point and kind of winning in dramatic fashion, that would be an even stronger statement now. But let's see if he can claim this first.
Yeah, big hold. And yeah, based on what we've seen so far, if Tiafoe was to take this second set, I mean, I would, because I don't feel like Fritz has shown enough in these 2 sets. I mean, obviously, if he sneaks this one, he's definitely got a chance. But if Tiafoe takes this, you really fancy him, I would say, to take the match. But yeah, we'll see though.
Yeah, for Tiafoe's game to be working, he has to be like really exploding with self-belief, and he is today. He has been the entire week, fortnight, I guess, and it's looking very nice for him if he can snatch this one, definitely. But of course, Taylor is still in the game. Didn't really have all that much to do on that set point. Was definitely quite surprised though with the body serve from Francis.
I mean, that was a good point to start from Fritz. I don't know. Fritz is talking to the umpire there. I'm not sure what he's talking about, but
yeah, not sure either. He's not ordering an MTO. He's complaining about something. think by what the umpire kind of showed, he might have been showing that something was blinding him, maybe.
Oh,
But yeah, that's
oh,
because the
light.
umpire did like this, like, his hands in front of his face. But I don't know. I'm kind of just guessing here, to be honest. Will the US Open be the strongest slam for the American group going forward, says Sean. I mean, sure as hell not for the French, probably not the US Open. I mean, still probably not Wimbledon as well. So I guess so. I mean, you've got the home factor.
Yeah.
They've had some runs in Australia. Taylor had his first quarterfinal there. Francis had his first quarterfinal there, in fact, as well. Shelton had a quarter, was it? Tommy Paul had a semi. So I guess Australia and the US can kind of go hand in hand here. Definitely the hardcourt slams. But yeah, 6-5. I think this is this is a replay of that 2 net courts point that in the end did not prove decisive for the set, even though it might have.
Yeah, I mean, I'm expecting it now to go to the tiebreak, but we'll see. Fritz hit a few good return winners in the previous games. He might try and step up here again. Katie volley nets. There was also a long time ago, was it Anna Smashnova? What was her name?
I don't know who that is.
Anna Smashnova, yeah. That's a real former tennis player's name. So
that's a good one, yeah.
from Israel.
Tuna Altuna is one of my favorites, that's for sure. Tigre Hank as well. Matteo Giganta is also really good, I think, in that vein. Kind of just like names that evoke some other stuff. But yeah. Anna Smashnova, actually, I actually don't know her.
Yeah, I mean, she played quite a while ago.
Even Yannick Sinner, if you think about it, like we're so used to it by now, but like, yeah, for someone to be named Sinner, like it just creates so many puns. But I guess, yeah, by now we just are so familiar with him that it doesn't seem strange anymore. I don't actually remember it being strange at any point, but it's certainly a good, like, yeah, canvas for puns and jokes.
Love 30 now on a Tiafoe serve, so definitely chances here for Fritz.
Yeah, that 4-5 game was tricky, and the 5-6 one will be as well. Created this opportunity for himself, Fritz, for sure, with a good return, and then kind of just following it up. Some really nice footwork on the winner. Is he gonna show he's the boss? As Kosti was implying earlier, that he's kind of playing for that status. Playing to see if he can have the boss brand.
Double fault from Tiafoe. So 3 set points here for Fritz. And there we go. it seemed so close up until now, and then this happened. So
yeah, close affair was what we were expecting, and we are very close to getting the one set all, but yeah, maybe not in the way that seemed really most likely after the first 10 games of the set, first 8 especially.
surely he finishes it. And there it is. So Fritz finishing the volley at the net, and we are one set all. And I would say it's very much a match here.
Yeah, on brand with his clothing. He was very much the boss in this game, Fritz, pretty much in any point. Francis, of course, the double faults, that did not help whatsoever. And yeah, a big turnaround. And this time we can actually say that in a huge spot mentally, it was Fritz who delivered better. So it's not that obvious that it will just always be Francis and will always be him who will be taking advantage of that atmosphere. Oh, wow. And Fritz must have lost like 1 point throughout the set on serve, I think. 15 winners and 3 unforced errors.
Yeah. So now I think, yeah,
That's just
he's maybe going to relax a little bit and maybe step up here, Fritz. Let's see.
Trying to pull up the stat board, but it's not showing me. Okay, it is here. Was just thinking about that, like how many points did he lose on serve, but on the zoom that I have here, it's pretty tricky to actually find something. Okay, but I think I can. Sorry, that's a Java update. I'm definitely not doing that right now. Yeah, 1 point lost on serve the entire set from Fritz.
Wow.
For a while, Tiafoe was probably matching him, but then he lost 7. I guess 2 would have been... Yeah. No, sorry. So 3 would have been in the... Yeah, so I guess for the first 4 games, he did not lose any. Because 3 would have been at 4-5, and then 4 at 5-6. So yeah, Tiafoe was like matching him for the first 8 games with that, and then just the other 2. So it might look like Fritz was like dominating on serve so much more than Tiafoe, but that's really only the last 2 games.
And wow, look, the set 2 stats there. So 15 winners and 3 unforced errors from Fritz.
Yeah, I think the scoreboard here still hasn't uploaded, and it's 14 here, but yeah, it was 15 by IBM on my stream, on my feed as well.
Yeah, and 9-8 from Tiafoe, not bad, but obviously that's yeah, he's Fritz really stepping up towards the latter half of that set. So and now, yeah, does Fritz become a favorite again? Let's see.
Do I like Inigo Cervantes? As a singles player, didn't really enjoy him all that much, to be honest. In doubles, he's fine. I've heard he's a very nice guy as well. So, sure.
Wow, and then it's quite a bad start here from Fritz. That's the double fault to bring it to love 30. Wow. Oh. Wow, that was quite the point. I think Tiafoe maybe made a mistake not going cross court there.
Yeah, and he once again kind of like overplays the drop shot. I think Fritz was pretty much inside the baseline, and yeah, it seemed like it was just a better option to just put the ball away. Maybe Fritz was moving backwards a little bit, but not enough.
Yeah.
And yeah, he actually loses that exchange. Pretty important point too. I mean, could have been 3 break points up.
Yeah, and that's a good. Oh. Good. No way. No way. Okay, so that's a backhand passing winner from Tiafoe. I mean, that was.
Yeah, I don't even know if the net court helped him there or not. Kind of gave the ball again to
Just
Fritz.
in the replay, it was just in there.
Yeah. So yeah, he gets a chance at the start of the 4th set. 3rd set, sorry. Kind of take all that momentum that Taylor had.
Yeah, there's good response there though from Fritz. So ace out wide. Let's see if we can put another good serve down here. It was a good serve, but then Tiafoe gets the chance with the short ball and hits that forehand up the line, getting the winner and early break in this 3rd set. So yeah, I mean,
yeah, really good reaction. This short ball. I mean, yeah, maybe it was a short ball, but like still, he didn't need to take it like this, right? I mean, it's still impressive. He went for it and obviously landed that break point up. So yeah, he's got the early start in the 3rd. Obviously, did a lot of damage to himself with that 5-6 game in the 2nd, but now it's damage control mode, and now he's just gonna be trying to keep this going. And yeah,
this could be a long one.
This could be a long one, and that's, well, I mean, I'm happy about it and I'm not happy about it because I'd rather not go to bed at like 6 a.m. But we'll see. I mean, I knew what I was signing up for. I even initially said to John that I'm probably not going to make it, but then I changed my mind. I see he was very confident in me because he didn't even show up to start the stream. And in fact, funny thing is, I actually almost overslept for this match. But because they had to let the crowd from the evening and from the day session out, and had to do all these things, and there was a pretty big break. That's how I managed to stay up.
That helped me out as well.
Yeah, for you it was like additional 40 minutes in the morning, I guess.
Saturday morning here, so.
Right, because it's Saturday as well already. Yeah, I didn't think of that. I mean, for me it's Saturday as well, but that I don't really treat it as Saturday yet. Before you go to bed, or like before you go to bed for the last time in my case today, that's still not Saturday. It's still Friday.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I've got a journey ahead of me going to Szczecin for the Challenger.
Oh, that's in. Wait, is that in Poland?
Yeah. It's very close to the German border. Okay. But it is in Poland. It's the last in Poland this year.
Is that a long journey?
5.5 hours by train, something like that.
Oh, that's pretty long.
Pretty long, yeah. It's kind of funny, but because like everyone complains when we get to Szczecin, everyone complains that it's far. Like from anywhere you live in Poland, it's going to be far for you. It's pretty much like the top left corner of the country. So yeah, it's kind of stranded, I guess. But yeah, it's the biggest event we have here on the men's side for many years now. Pretty much since the Sopot Warsaw ATP Tour days.
Who are the top
So
seeds there?
Carvalho's Baena pulled out. I think Seba Wild is the top seed now. There's Munar as well, although I don't know if he wins Genoa, maybe he won't show up. There's a few top 100 players always. It's this Davis Cup week is really good generally. Like you miss out on some players, the ones that are playing Davis Cup, but at the same time, like the kind of the second caliber of Spaniards, Argentinians, Italians, they all love this event because it's pretty much, well, it's the biggest one on clay in next week, right? So you rarely are going to get like some really top players, but you're gonna get pretty much anyone who is like desperate enough to play on clay right after the US Open. Gasquet won in 2017, so but they had to pay him a lot of money to get there. So.
Oh. Okay, that was a really nice point there from Tiafoe. And he was under a bit of pressure as well at 30-all, but now brings it to 40-30. That was very nice. The drop shot working for him there. And then he's able to finish it off with a forehand, with a pass. So
finally, the drop shot leads to something good for Francis.
Yeah.
My stream started like kind of misbehaving, and it's like cutting to moments from the Sinner Draper match, which is weird, but also it actually allowed me to see the left wrist moment, and also allowed me to see some of the Draper stuff. Like they're just kind of showing these moments. But yes, Yannick still won the point right after he fell.
Yeah, amazing point. But yeah, I mean, the left wrist, I'm not sure how bad it. Obviously, it's bad enough for him to put. He was putting ice on it after the match. I saw him on the bike, but he seemed to be smiling and happy. They didn't look overly concerned, but
okay. So it's not like the Minor at Wimbledon when like he won the match, but you could see already that he knows that this is bad. This is.
Oh yeah, that was really bad.
Yeah, no, he knew instantly it's bad. Like he just didn't really celebrate at all, and it was just. But yeah, Francis gets the break after a pretty horrible drop shot, but he still wins the point. So I mean, the break, Jesus, consolidates. Yeah, okay, maybe this is my energy low, but
we know what you meant.
Can I pronounce Marta Domachowska? I just did. Marta Domachowska. She was like top 30 in the 2000s and also is the partner of Jerzy Janowicz. Jake enjoying the shot making of Tiafoe. Personally, I think Swarna Alcaraz should skip both Davis Cup and Laver Cup, especially Laver. Like Davis, I can understand if he plays because, it's for the country and stuff. They might need him. But Laver, I think, given how he looks just a bit cooked and like he needs rest, I don't really think that giving himself like a very full schedule towards the end of the year will be good from here, but I don't know. If Sinner wins the US Open, especially, then the number one is gone. So I don't think there's really any sense in like playing for it either. So I mean, I'm not saying he should skip everything until the end of the year, but these Laver Cup, especially that in a way Davis Cup as well, they just kind of seem too much.
I mean, I think everyone should just skip Laver Cup.
Yeah,
it's not an event.
But sometimes, I mean, it's huge money, right? Like for Carlos, that isn't really that much of a consideration, probably. But
yeah, but yeah, I
I mean,
imagine that,
Rafa
like
will also play it,
the
right?
guys kind of want to play it because they feel like sort of like, I don't know, like it's another thing to prove themselves in front of these top players, and I'm sure it's pretty exciting to play in that atmosphere. But
Oh, definitely, yeah. Just
it's
play
like
with guys, compete alongside guys you usually are rivals with as well.
maybe they should do Europe v rest of the world, but like just all guys outside the top 100.
I'm sure everyone will watch it as well. Yeah. There's also the factor of Rafa playing Laver Cup, and like we don't actually still know what his plans are. And if Rafa was going to retire at Laver Cup, for example, that might cause Alcaraz to play.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that does seem fairly likely. But
it kind of does. Yeah. I mean, I don't really know what his plans are, at least for now. We haven't gotten any announcement, but
yeah,
he might be trying to do the Federer thing from last year or 2 years ago already. Yeah, 2 years ago already.
Are you going to go to the Davis Cup tie in like Poland?
No, because I'm in Szczecin at this time.
All right,
that
of course,
always,
yes.
it's always clashing, and it's a shame because I actually haven't been to a Davis Cup tie since 2013, and I really want to go. Except that the last couple of years when I wanted to, because of course there's two dates basically there when you can go. So February, that first window, and then September. September I don't really go to anymore because of Szczecin. And then when it comes to the February one, so 2 years ago, or rather last year, we played Japan away. So yeah, sorry. And this year we played Uzbekistan away. So again, I'm not really gonna go. In 2022, we played Portugal also away, and I was considering it, but I didn't go. And yeah, if we get a home tie in February, I'm definitely going. If we get an away tie, would have to be Europe pretty much, or like even maybe some countries in Europe that are affordable for me to fly to. But yeah, I mean Davis Cup is not really amazing if I have to fly. I mean sometimes it's just 2-3 matches really. So, but yeah, I really want to go for a Davis Cup tie. It's just that I haven't had the chance in a while. Yeah, but the last 2 years I'm really like looking really at the February window, as in like, yeah, if it's a home tie, I'm surely going.
Yeah, and if Poland wins that, then it would be is it you go to the qualifiers? Is it like for the main?
Yes, this is the stage where if we win against South Korea and we are favorites, we would be playing the qualifiers in 2025. First time since the new system, since the PK reform. We were actually kind of held back by technicality, because when they did the reform, they were basing this on the Davis Cup ranking, and we had some penalty points there. Because in 2016, when we were in the World Group for the first time and the only time, we played Argentina in Gdańsk, I think, and we basically made the indoor venue a bit faster than the ITF regulations, which of course is a stupid error, and like we were punished for it by just like a deduction of ranking points, which in the previous system did not matter really, because you were still playing whatever league or like whatever tier you were at. Yeah. But when they made the reform, they just assigned Poland to like one of the lowest ones because of the low ranking. And yeah, that's why it's taken years to get out of that. Even though we've been winning most of our matches. I mean, Japan, I mentioned earlier, Japan we didn't beat, but otherwise, I mean, I think we haven't really lost anything other than Japan. Oh, Portugal as well in 2022. So yeah, I guess Portugal and Japan. But these two matches, we didn't have Hurkacz involved. That's always a question, of course, whether he'll be up to play or not. And I don't really blame him if he's not sometimes. I mean, Japan was obviously a long trip, and so was Uzbekistan. But actually, he made it to Uzbekistan this year. because he had to before the Olympics, right? To feel the
Oh,
criteria.
right. Yeah, of course. That's the rule. Yeah, I went to the Davis Cup qualifier between Belgium and Korea last year, in February last year, and that was great. It was one of the best tennis experiences I've had, and it was
There was like a crazy Bergs Hong match or something like that, right?
well, they were and Belgium were leading 2-0 after the first day, and then Korea came back and won, from 3 to win 3-2. So that was crazy. And so there was Bergs against Kwon, and Kwon probably should have won that, but then he lost it in 3 in the tiebreak, kind of blew it, and then but that was a really exciting match. And then it was the doubles that they won. That's the middle match that saved Korea. And then Kwon beat Goffin, and then Hong beat Bergs to clinch it. And then so that was quite unexpected. And then but the atmosphere was just fun, and there was even some Belgian fans there as well, so even in Korea. And then that's the traditional it's not 5-set, but it's still the more traditional Davis Cup format, so it's the only place we can see it now.
I definitely like the home away format a lot. I'm fine with it. I'm honestly with the reforms because there's still a lot of home and away ties, really. But it's super fun. I've only been to one Davis Cup tie in my life. It was Poland, Australia, and it's actually a great experience in 2013. I mean, even at the time, I knew that I was seeing some stars. I mean, Leighton Hewitt played, Bernard Tomic played, but also there was Nick Kyrgios there, and I had no idea who he was then in September 2013. But it felt great watching him a year later beating Rafa at Wimbledon and kind of being like, oh yeah, it's that guy that we watched in Warsaw. And I just mostly remembered he had a massive serve. In doubles they almost made the upset with Guccione over Fürstenberg Matkowski, which was supposed to be like our a very safe point for us, but it wasn't really because Nick was just like serving bombs. Of course, we lost that tie to Australia. The singles wasn't really close, even though we tried to we tried to play to their weaknesses and went with an indoor clay venue. But we also weren't playing well on indoor clay. Like Szczesny was pretty horrible on clay as well. Kubot was better, I guess, but still Hewitt and Tomic just outplayed them. But it was really fun, and I would love to go again. It was actually my first time watching tennis live, I think, back then. All right, Francis Tiafoe 3-2 up, still has that early break. Hasn't looked close to surrendering it so far, as Fritz is lining up for another huge forehand return, and this time it's not gonna be as spectacular as the previous one. Do you think Fritz has a better chance in the final, or is it Tiafoe?
That's a good question. Well, I mean, I don't really see either one having a great chance, but I feel like it should be on in terms of like their tennis, it probably should be Fritz that has a better chance. But I don't know, like maybe Tiafoe in a final, if he's just like peaking and like he's got the crowd on his side, he's just starting pulling off spectacular shots here and there, and then like maybe that's going to be a scenario that could happen. But you would imagine that Sinner's going to have too much for them. But
yeah, I kind of like Tiafoe's chances a bit better. Like, I know what happened in the Cincinnati final, but he's just more unpredictable, more, just has a higher ceiling, I guess, maybe with his shot making. And like, I can imagine a world where he just comes out and Sinner is kind of left with no answers, at least in patches. Whereas Fritz, I mean, he's gonna know exactly what he's gonna get from Taylor, and
and I think if even if he doesn't win, it's perhaps probably Tiafoe has the chance to make it a more exciting match, a more competitive match, maybe if he does start,
like probably on
Cheating.
average, Fritz gets a better scoreline than Tiafoe, but I think the chances to win might be with Francis. So I would like to see Sinner Tiafoe, I think, in the final. That's I think a better way to keep it exciting.
Yeah.
And
for probably now, better for the fans, I think.
Probably as well. Yeah, Francis can kind of play along more with the crowds and maybe make this even more loud than it will be on Sunday. Kind of all that desperation, that the American media and the American fans have had over the years to have a Grand Slam champion again.
And I mean, well, if Tiafoe wins this set, he's gone up 2-1, which is not something he's done since 2016 in that match.
He should have gotten the point here as well, and already applied pressure to Fritz. And to your question, Brazy, I mean, indoor clay venues tend to be a little like that. Although that one in particular wasn't that bad because it was just set up for the event and it was really big. It was 5K people maybe. So it didn't really feel like it, like you weren't that close to the courts. But when I went to this indoor clay challenger last year in Hungary, then you could kind of feel it on your, I don't know, maybe it's a stretch to say that you could feel it on your lungs. It sounds more unpleasant than it was, but certainly after a whole day at that venue, I could feel the whole, indoor clay, the dust basically floating around in the air. Jake was here, but I think he just went to bed. At least that's what he said about 8-9 minutes ago, that he is calling it a night.
Yeah. Oh. Return going wide, so Fritz holds on. And perhaps.
Uh-huh.
I was just going to say, obviously in the previous set, as we got towards the end, that's when Tiafoe threw in a bit of a sloppy service game, obviously, and then Fritz stepped up, and we weren't really expecting it. So it's possible something like this could happen again as we get closer towards the end of the set.
Yeah, this game could have been a bit more tricky for Taylor as well if Francis takes that first point, which he really should have. And I don't know, maybe that was a chance to give himself that insurance break. But he doesn't get that. Still just 2 holds away, though. I think, I was doing a stream a couple of days ago from Gokalp and Mario, I think, and Gokalp called. What were we watching? I don't even remember. But he called it an insurance break, and I really liked that. And someone really needed that insurance break. Then, he was 5-2 up and lost his serve, and then served it out at 5-4. But I cannot remember who we were watching. Maybe it was a women's match. I don't know. Never mind. Navarro against Badosa, I guess. Yeah, Navarro against Badosa, maybe. Oh, and actually, she had that insurance break, but even that wasn't enough, right? She was 5-1 up in the second set and lost 5-7.
Yeah, you never know when. Yeah, because players come back from double breaks down or even more sometimes, but and we saw that at that match, the US Open, between Evans and Kashanov in the 5th set.
Yeah,
Kashanov could have easily gone up.
Munar Nishikori, there was a similar. Oh
right.
Yeah.
What was the score?
6-2 for love for Kai, and then he also had 4-2 40-15 on return and 4-all for the love on return. didn't take either game, and lost the match.
Oh man.
But yeah, by like the second set, he was already pretty gassed. Then of course there was a break after the third, and it did give him some energy back, but it only lasted like 2 games in the decider really after. But like it was especially brutal because he was just crushing Munar. He just had way too much in terms of like ball striking, average shot quality, but yeah, he just fell apart. And but yeah, Evans Khachanov, of course, is a US Open example that was pretty insane too. Especially considering Dan's form this season. This was quite massive for him.
Yeah, that was yeah, that's so I watched the final set. I was actually at the match, and this was quite crazy. And then the funny thing was, is like just before that, I was like, because I was watching another match, we came off and we were like, okay, let's go watching Evans against Khachanov, and it was looking like Evans might win it in 4. So I was kind of like hoping, like, because I was like waiting there. I was like, okay, I hope Evans loses this set so that we can get in and watch the final set. And then yeah, he did, and yeah, I mean, yeah, crazy. I mean, because obviously it looked like he almost went down 5-love, and I mean, if he had done, I mean, I'm pretty sure Khachanov would have won, but then he held on, and it was funny because I remember saying to myself, like, oh well, he held, maybe there's a chance he can break back in the next game. Let's see what happens. And then didn't expect that he'd win like all the next 6 games, right? But yeah, crazy. Yeah, that was really fun though.
Way over 5 hours as well. So
yeah, because I didn't realize. I mean, I just come off and yeah, it was 5 hours 35. It was the longest match in US Open history. And then yeah, I came down to the court and I realized, wait, 5 hours? They've been playing 5 hours. I saw the clock. I was like, that's crazy. Like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't watch that in its entirety. I basically was just following the scores a bit, but then I tuned in for the 5th as well. But yeah, of course, seeing that live must have been great. Probably the most memorable match of that US Open experience, I would assume, even if it was only one set.
Yeah, for me, yeah, that was pretty cool.
You were part of history that day.
Yeah, I've got the final point filmed. Got the footage. Yeah, I think John put it in one of a video, but oh, so this is 30-all here on the Fritz serve, and I mean, certainly, I think Tiafoe would like to get it done in this game.
Oh, and Jake is back after all.
Oh, a little strange little forehand there from Tiafoe, goes wide. I feel like kind of let that go too easily because it was an important point.
Just watch that. That was
yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know what to call it. I mean, just no footwork at all, just kind of like a pickup. But you know, you see he did it on purpose. You see that's what he was aiming for. But yeah, obviously it failed to make its mark.
Yeah, and that there is a wild forehand going wide from Tiafoe, so he will have to serve it out.
Yeah, it's just that early break so far. And well, he's done a great job keeping to it for now. Let's see if after the break that is also the case. 2-1 lead. I don't think he had that against Alcaraz, did he? I think he won the 4th set in a tie break and then. But I have to check that actually. I'm not positive.
So Warner says neither of them has a chance to beat Sinner on Sunday. They are playing for the runners-up trophy.
Very pessimistic. Likely true.
Now let's see if Tiafoe doesn't choke
Yeah,
here.
for never he never led 2-1 against Alcaraz in the semis. Yeah, he won the first and fourth sets. I mean he had 2-1 at Wimbledon against Alcaraz, but I was just thinking about his previous US Open semi. Yeah, but that's true, of course. The one dish one needs to try well in Seville.
I've been to Sevilla many years ago.
So what's the one dish?
But I can't honestly remember what I ate, to be honest.
I don't know if there's like one dish that's like really synonymical with Seville. I don't really think of it.
It was like 2009 or something I went, but it's a long time ago.
John will probably tell us. I actually have never been to Spain, although I'm thinking about it this year, because after Szczecin, I'd like to get like one more foreign trip in, and I'm thinking either Valencia in October or Alicante in November. But yeah, we'll have to think about it. I'll probably wait to see like the entry list as well and decide kind of more on the spot. But that's probably going to be my last challenger this year. It's actually weird that I haven't been to Spain or France yet for a challenger. I've been to the ATP 250 in Marseille, but they kind of seem like, easy targets for me to go. And there's a lot of events there, obviously, but for some reason it hasn't worked out. But yeah, I'll probably try to change it with Spain this year. Oh, I mean, that forehand angle from Tiafoe was pretty insane. I'm still watching this point, to be honest. So,
oh, okay.
He might not even win it, and he doesn't. Okay.
No, disappointing.
That's kind of the worst start you can get, maybe, to a game like this.
Not a great start.
I wonder if it's better to hit a double fault or lose a point like this when you're trying to serve out the set. Maybe even this, like you lose a bit of confidence in your finishing then.
The second serve here. Oh, that was a great return from Fritz. So, love 30, and it's feeling like the previous set. Oh, it's going to have to be another second serve. I think Damien's frozen, or he's just so excited by this match that he's just... Okay, and that's an important point there for Tiafoe. 15-30 now.
Okay, I got here in time to check out this one. Yeah, maybe could have been a little sharper, Fritz, but then again, he was rushed a bit. I guess it's fine to make that error.
Yeah, the second serve down the middle, just enough. Fritz can't return it, and we're at 30 all, so looking like, well, he's certainly in a better position than in that last game of the previous set.
Yeah, I mean, Fritz dumping the return into the net, but then again, he hit that one to go up 30 love earlier, so I guess it evens out a bit, but of course, disappointing not to get more from love 30, but still have a chance.
Yeah, positive rally, and then we've got set point.
Yeah, you can kind of see that some of the usual positive energy that Francis has, like it's not always there in a game like this, in spots like this. When he lost that first point, his reaction was like kind of very, yeah, he was angry at himself. But I mean, as long as he's winning points, of course, it doesn't matter. But yeah, it's definitely like this feels different than the other games. That's for sure.
And that's an error, the backhand wide from Fritz. So 2-1 lead for Tiafoe. And yeah, this is different territory for him, given how this matchup has previously gone for him. So
yeah, honestly, just one weaker game at the start for Fritz. I guess Tiafoe really like stepped up as well to take that early break. The forehand down the line he took, for example, on break point. But yeah, just that early break, literally at the very beginning of the set, never had a chance to return, really. So
John's asking if I had a trim yet. I had a haircut like 3 weeks ago or something, but yeah.
Yeah, John is like extremely convinced that he has this incredible ability to recognize when someone has had a haircut, which honestly, I mean, it's not really anything special, but we choose to keep it believing it.
Yeah, it's been a while. I mean, I got it pretty short, but I got it like before I went to New York, so. Jessica Pegula against Arina Sabalenka will be on tomorrow, right? And
yep.
Unfortunately,
5 p.m.
5 a.m. for me, which is just horrible.
Same with the men's final, right? So
yeah,
at least the men's is longer though, so you might.
I mean, getting up at like before 5 is too much for me, really. But yeah, maybe I can get up at 6, like, or 6:30 during the.
That's how I feel, at the Asian Challengers. So yeah, tomorrow at noon, the men's doubles final: Purcell, Thompson, Kravitz, Putz, and then of course Sabalenka and Pegula will before 4 p.m. And there's also a lot of other action in the junior finals. Budkov, Kier, Hodar, and Stolisa, Vlievich, Sonobe beat Jovic today, the teenager who made that splash in the women's singles draw, and the boys doubles final as well. Everything else is at noon, I guess. Yeah, everything is at noon. And then 4 p.m. Pegula Sabalenka. Cincinnati final rematch.
Yeah,
how many times did I mention New York?
A few times.
You haven't been forcing, like, you've been talking about it in relevant moments, I would say.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I had a great time there, to be honest, but quite expensive, so I'm not going to be rushing back, I don't think, anytime soon.
Now Australia.
Australia?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to Melbourne actually like 4 years ago, but
okay,
it was just before COVID hit, or like as it was starting. But like that wasn't as expensive as New York, but the US Open especially is it's just expensive. Like, their main cocktails like the honey juice, and it's like $23, and then like just like. Yeah. They shell it. I mean, to be fair, like you can just drink. Of course, you can just drink the tap water, right? So that's fine. But then, like they're selling like an Evian for like $8 or whatever. The beer is like 15.
Did you have a honey juice?
Yeah, I think I had like 2 maybe.
Okay.
I drank some beer. I think I drank beer, and then it's kind of a little bit. There's honey juice. I mean, it's just like a sweet cocktail. It's a little bit sweet. I'm not really that into it. It's not my favorite thing. So
Yeah, I guess you have to try it though. Even for $23. I mean, if you're at the US Open, I guess you have to get that to get the full experience.
yeah, I mean, food is pretty expensive, but yeah, it is what it is. I don't remember. Yeah, I don't think Melbourne was that expensive though. And
No, sorry. Yeah, I was just watching because they were showing me this interview between Sinner and Chet, and like there was a hug at the end, which just felt very cringy, and I just yeah, okay, never mind. Someone is drinking. I don't know if it's honeydew or not, but they just show the woman sipping from her cocktail, and she's like, "That's good." Yeah.
yeah, I mean, also the days I went to at the beginning of the Open, it was they said it was the record attendance on those first few days. So like it felt like it was quite intense, like getting around the grounds, which I mean, it wasn't the most enjoyable just being in those crowds, to be honest. But then, yeah, you just have to be a bit smarter finding your way around.
Is it really as cramped as how people said it is this week? Or there was a lot of talk on Twitter that like the US Open is just not like, well, that venue is just very cramped with the attendance that they get, and that it's not really a pleasant experience.
Yeah, that I did feel like that it was a bit too much. To be honest, it was quite intense. And yeah, I don't remember. I mean, well, to be fair though, I mean, when I was in Melbourne, it was pretty busy as well. I think, especially in those days, you have like Kyrgios playing or whatever. A lot of the Aussies are coming out. But yeah, Wimbledon's like it wasn't too bad. It wasn't like that. Although I went there like quite a while ago, so. The thing that's bad is like all those the tickets, like they all get sold and then they get put up for resale. Like there's people that just sell them for like double the price or whatever. Or, I mean, more than whatever they paid for them. So it's pretty expensive. I mean, I can't imagine like how much some of these tickets cost right down adjacent to the court. It must be quite ridiculous, to be honest. And the thing with Wimbledon is that at least, I mean, people complain about it because they have that queuing system and then they have the ballot, but it allows you to get the tickets for like at least how much they cost, right? They actually cost, so it allows more like regular people to actually attend, I would say, but
I guess it's still a ridiculous system though.
Yeah, but I mean,
imagine explaining that to somebody who doesn't know what it's all about.
Yeah, but yeah, if you're lucky though, like you can get a ticket in the ballot, right? And then it's all
yeah,
good,
but like that must be the only sports event in the world where like you have to be lucky to get a ticket. Someone who's not from a tennis background and wants to watch Wimbledon, I mean, I'm sure they just get absolutely stumped when they just try to Google where to buy Wimbledon tickets, and they actually realize that, well, you cannot. You have to do this or you have to do that. Sure, there are ways to get it, but it's not like something you just do online and show up at the venue. I think Scott posted about it this year, actually, that there was someone around the queue that was kind of walking around and just asked him, where can I buy the tickets? And he basically had to give this guy like a very summarized explanation of how the ticketing system works at Wimbledon. And it was not an easy task. And it was also very confusing to the person, of course, who had no idea about it. I don't know. Tennis tournaments, I guess, are pretty weird.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
think
that resale problem is also a thing. Yeah.
at Wimbledon, they actually, I don't know if they still do it, but they used to like release a very limited like number of tickets the day before on Ticketmaster, but they would obviously get snapped up like that because it'd be like something like only like 500 tickets for each court, or like center court and court 3 or something. So yeah, it's obviously not ideal.
You did it wrong, John. This should have been written differently, and I'll actually tell you in the chat how you should have written that. That's for sure. This is the correct way of saying what you said in the Nurland vein. But anyway, when it comes to that question from Swarna, what was the reaction to Iga's loss in the Polish media? I mean, as you can expect, pretty negative, definitely. And I think it's time people are like, especially the average fans on like Facebook or whatever, like they're pretty like desperate for a non-Roland Garros slam result. I mean, I think I've said it before that like that 2022 US Open title is really changing the outlook on her whole career right now, because otherwise we would be talking about it all the time that she hasn't won anything but the French. For now, it's kind of enough, but like one more year of, let's say, losing in third round, fourth round, quarterfinals at the other majors, and like that will be a real call for. I mean, it's already like an alarm call really for her team, and to start thinking about something, maybe throwing in some improvisation again as well. But I don't know. It's for now it's still like okay, like she kind of gets by on that one US Open title for me, but a lot of fans don't really think so anymore. I mean, it kind of all depends on how much you value the slams as well, which I mean, obviously they should be valued more than the other events, but yeah, I think right now people kind of forget that she's been just remarkable all year round, really, other than
Yeah.
Drop shots. Is that about the Iga thing, John? I mean, I'd love to see some drop shots, that's for sure. Sometimes, you go back to watch that Halep 2020 highlights, for example, and then, yeah, I mean, it's just such a different player that's on the court right now. So much more mechanical, so much more robotic, which works, of course. I mean, it's given her a number of really good results and just the ability to dominate players like no one else, really. But yeah, I mean, it's time to maybe start thinking as well about what the opponent is doing and trying to mix up a bit more, especially in matches like this where it's not working out, where the A game, the A game isn't there. And if the A game isn't there, she kind of is out of options already. So that's a problem. And well, it's there to be fixed. Someone else, like a non-tennis, friend, was asking me yesterday, actually at a pub, whether I think that she should get a new coach or something like that. I think that basically she has a decent setup, and like I think it's well within their ability to work things out. But yeah, certainly they have to start treating this as a bit of an alarm call as well. Yeah, 2 hours 18 minutes into this one. Taylor Fritz serving at 1-all, and seems like he's gonna 10 aces already, 8 for Francis. Some good serving in this game as well.
Wow.
Well, that was an insane point, maybe the longest of the match.
Wow. Yeah.
Taylor Fritz has
Yeah.
that ability to look very clumsy while at it, but still make a lot of balls.
Yeah, he did well to dig out a few of them there, and yeah, great hold. So could be important.
The backhands line, especially, too like really out of position.
Yeah, he's awkward as sometimes, but I mean his backhand is the strong wing. So
yeah. Have you seen like the rally length or?
Yeah, I'm waiting for that to show up as well, but it's not giving me it.
Yeah, me neither.
Poor from the director, whoever.
So Francis has Big Foe written on his water, and it seemed like an Evian bottle as well. That's interesting.
Oh. Yeah.
Did they produce a similar one for Fritz? But what would they say? Like Fritzy or
Fritzy, yeah. Don't know.
well, Tiafoe trying to join Fritz on the ace count. Just one more needed. Yeah, winning this high
Wow.
as well.
Yeah, the intensity stepped up, hasn't it, in the last couple of games here? And that was
Takes that forehand on the run pretty much, yeah.
superb forehand.
Maybe hit a photographer.
That's a sort of Sinner-esque forehand there, just like. Phew.
Not sure if Yannick is watching, but
Yeah, well, I mean, actually, what time is it there in New York? It's like must be
10
after
p.m.
10 p.m.
Yeah, 10 p.m.
You might still be watching.
I don't know if you guys are going to see anything, but I actually have New York time on my phone as well. Like I have 2 clocks on the front screen of my phone.
Right.
Local and New York. I don't usually switch it around between events. Like it's just a coincidence that it's now at the US Open. But yeah, basically sometimes it helps me out to know. Of course, it's not that tough to calculate, but it's just a bit quicker. 6 hours difference for me between New York and Poland. It's 5 for like 2 weeks though during the year because the daylight savings time comes at a different moment. I just hate that calculation and kind of having to worry about it. But well, it is what it is. I mean, otherwise half the world would be living in darkness. So if we didn't have time zones, so. Or maybe actually they would adapt and they would just be leaving, at night, kinda. Anyway, so I don't know. Maybe it would actually work out, but.
Oh,
Okay, maybe we're gonna have some pressure on the Fritz serve now. First return is enough to make Taylor miss.
it seems like your stream is caught up with mine.
Yeah, it's been closer recently. I'm just last few minutes. I'm not really sure why.
Or basically the same point.
Yeah, I don't really get how that works, to be honest. But well.
Oh, yeah.
Again, could have been a brutal net cord, but it's not. It actually stays on his side. That's 15-30 now. Taylor really needing some sort of a burst of energy here to get through this.
Yeah.
And that's a point that Tiafoe was on top of from the very beginning.
Yeah, he's getting a little bit
Really.
overexcited there and putting that backhand long, but because you felt like that was a really good chance for him to get on top. I think Fritz is the one that's a bit more nervous at the moment, but
Yeah, Fritz just kind of looks like he's, I don't know, just a little subdued. Maybe just like he's there, but actually doesn't really show you the fight. Of course, that is also like a different way of expressing himself than Tiafoe. Like, he doesn't wear his heart on his sleeve in the same way. But yeah, he doesn't really look like that. Yeah, another missed chance, but was trying to take that forehand super early.
yeah, I mean, Tiafoe was going for some. His level was going up there, but then he couldn't maintain that there. So
yeah, 2 points in a row in this game where he was like kind of on top and potentially could have pushed for a break point, but he didn't. And Fritz holds.
Yeah, for
second set was when we had like a bit of a scenario like this, where like, well, of course they were like winning their games very easily, but I mean, Fritz kept himself on serve and then started pushing for it late. Maybe that's what he's gonna do here.
Yeah, that's the thing. If Tiafoe does get to the final, he has those moments where he can play very spectacular tennis. It's just, is he going to be able to maintain that sort of intensity for, over a 5-set match against Sinner? Yeah, it's hard to see that, but at least he does have, that level within him sometimes. So, I mean, obviously he did well in his matches against Carlos, most recently at Wimbledon. Sorry, no, was it Roland Garros, right? Was it?
Who's Sinner, Carlos?
No, Tiafoe against Sinner. Sorry, Tiafoe against Carlos. Yeah,
Wimbledon.
Yeah,
he was 2 sets.
Yeah, it was Wimbledon.
Yeah. Wimbledon, and
yeah, confused. Yeah,
there was a tiebreak in the fourth set as well.
That's right. Yeah, and then against him in the US Open. But yeah, over 5 sets, it's a different story.
Yeah, I'm sure, John. I'm sure you did. who has more gas in the tank if this goes long. I mean, I don't think we've seen any indication from either player that they might be suffering physically. Francis has spent 3 hours more on the court in general, but this has also been a pretty fast-paced four-setter so far. So yeah, I mean, I don't think it will be much of a concern. More mentally, like, one will probably deliver and one will not.
I mean, we're in this fourth set, and it's about how much have we played so far? It's like it says 2 hours, 29 minutes. So it's not been the longest so far.
We were talking about this earlier, John. Probably I was even more towards that side, but Eddie, I think, was leaning towards it too. That, like, Tiafoe is just a bit less predictable, more explosive, might do something to Sinner in patches that would be, like disallowing Yannick to play his game. Whereas Fritz, you just know exactly what you're gonna get, and if his ball quality is worse than the other players, then it's kind of tough to see him winning in many of these matches. And yeah, I don't really know if I buy into Taylor beating Sinner. Although, yeah, I mean, we'll see about the left wrist and stuff. And general physicality for Yannick is sometimes a concern.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we know that Yannick, though, that unlike Draper, can throw up and go on to win the match. So
with how often Draper is struggling, I'm pretty sure he also vomited at some point and won the match in his career.
It's probably true.
Tiafoe going for a bit of a ridiculous shot there, doesn't make it, but it was still 40 love up.
Yeah. John, yeah. So Draper definitely vomited once because I saw the replay, but apparently it was more than once. So 3 times there you go, Jake says.
Yeah, I didn't see a ball, but Eddie brought me in on the most important stuff. He actually didn't see the match either, right? but
No, I didn't see it.
Already, yeah, he was caught up with the highlights of it, sort of.
Because it was like, sometimes you see players like they'll just throw up to the side, but it was like Draper just did it. He was like standing at the baseline and just threw up. Like,
oh wow.
So
yeah, usually you don't get it on camera. Usually, like, yeah.
No.
But yeah, if he did it right on the baseline, then yeah. I suppose they cleaned it up for him, right? I mean, they didn't.
I think he actually got the towel himself to clean it up. So.
Oh, okay. That's nice.
But then I saw that someone was complaining that he put the towel back in the towel box.
Oh wow!
Wow!
From Tiafoe.
Crazy.
That actually comes in a pretty crucial moment as well. Like, he was 14 love up, everything seemed super easy for him, but then suddenly it's not, and yeah, he manages to come up with the goods. We are halfway into the tiebreak in the first set, but it's still a long way. I will actually make a guess right now that we will not get to a tiebreak in this set.
Okay.
Is that a bold prediction? I don't know, but that's my guess.
Well, we haven't had one so far, so I thought we were going to get one in the second set, and it didn't come.
Yeah, second set, I mean, seemed like it was just obvious that we were going to get a tiebreak. Up until 4 games all, I guess they only had lost like 1 point on serve, and they were winning their games in about 1 minute. But yeah. More powerful forehand hitting again from Tiafoe. That angle he picks up here, that just has to put it away.
Yeah.
And yes, Jake, I did laugh at that Aliza Cornet comment. Definitely, like, energy comes and goes when you're doing this stuff midnight. I think especially when we were, that was a long while ago, but like we had that Australian Open streaming like trip where me and Mario went to John's, and we were doing streams from like the entire first week, pretty much all through the night. And definitely, like, there were moments when you were close to dying, but if you survive that, then you might actually keep going for a few more hours. So streaming is kind of like tennis. Yeah.
There's another spectacular rally going on here.
It is. He's gonna take it.
Oh.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah. Fritz did really well to come out on top there.
So that's something we can say about the physicality now. In a rally like this, it was Fritz who still had energy. I mean, you actually rarely see a player give up on a point like this, like Foe did here, but just like literally had no intention of going after the next shot. So I don't know, maybe that's the question that was asked a couple of minutes ago, that who's gonna be better if it goes really long. And well, seems like Fritz based on this point at least. 31 shots in this one, longest rally of the match, obviously. Probably one of the longest rallies of the tournament, honestly.
36.
I think that's something we can, that actually is there on the US Open website as well.
Yeah, it's actually a good return there from Tiafoe. So
Your longest rally of the men's event is 39.
yeah, a good hold there from Fritz.
This would be in the top 10 though.
Did they tell you in what match it was? The 39 rally?
Yeah. Walton against Miller. And it was at 6-all in the I guess 6-all in the second set tiebreak, which I think Walton, even though he won the point, he still lost the breaker. But I mean, Walton, Miller, yeah, I can imagine that having long rallies, that's for sure.
Just going to take a quick break here.
Sure.
Oh.
Sounds like an awesome TT party, says Jake. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, we were tired as hell. It certainly wasn't it wasn't really like healthy or anything, because we were really pushing our bodies through this. And by the second week of the Australian Open there, I remember I've never felt like that. Like I literally had like nothing left some days. And well, I even started having some sort of like weird reactions. Like I was trying to go to bed, but then I couldn't. I had like this weird feeling that was not allowing me to. It just wasn't healthy. I think this year I was watching the Australian Open in a much more healthy and sustainable manner. Lots of naps kind of like before the play began, and then maybe some sleep later if I needed it. Like it was definitely a lot more healthy and sustainable than what we did in Bondi, where we were sometimes, I mean, Kokinaki's Mari, it ended at like 6 p.m. I think. So our time, I mean, so after that was straight to bed and then wake up for 1 a.m. or midnight to do another stream. And it was fun while we did it, but I felt the toll of that certainly. Yeah, I mean 3-4 Tiafoe serving. Let's see. Second set, the only real part when he looked like a little out of it mentally today was exactly in moments like this. So like when he was already close to losing the set and he was behind on the scoreboard. So let's see if that happens again. Although the 3-4 game was still fine. It was really at 4-5 when things began to work a bit differently. But it doesn't seem like Fritz will be pushing for that break all that much.
Yeah, perhaps Tiafoe is the player that is struggling more as we get on into the latter stages of this match.
Thankfully, not every rally is 31 shots.
Yeah,
and he does have the tools to keep points nice and quick.
Yeah. Yeah, Foe is a better mover than Fritz, but I think Fritz does have the ability to. He can defend pretty well, and he doesn't move so well, but he's able to dig out some awkward shots. And
yeah, his scrambling is like surprisingly good. He always looks very clumsy at it. It just doesn't look, technical. It doesn't look textbook, but he makes it work. So, and that's definitely something that was like kind of added to his game over time. Well, tries to go a bit too big on the forehand here, so it's 4 games all. Really entering crunch time in this 4th set. I would not mind this ending in 4 sets. I'm gonna say that. I'm fine physically. I mean, my energy level is okay. I slept for like 4 hours literally before this stream, so I'm actually surprised I'm not feeling even better. But I would not mind if this ended in 4 sets. Definitely not.
Oh, that's a good return.
Yeah, we've got another one of these points that kind of, well, one guy will have to outlast the other. And, well, it's kind of Fritz again. I mean, Tiafoe probably didn't need to, like, bail himself out of it like this, but, well, maybe he did need it, given...
I think he was like he looked a bit
He's not as durable,
slow.
Yeah, he's not as, like, durable in these longer exchanges.
Oh. Yeah, that backhand cross court was so nice there.
That really forced the issue, and I guess it kind of made him avoid another long rally like this.
Yeah, he really needed it. And I think if it does go to a 5th set, I'd probably favor Fritz.
Sounds reasonable.
But we'll see. Tiafoe could still do this in 4.
I'm just reading something insane. So Carousel just called Miles Davis fat on Twitter. What the hell is that discussion even? I mean, he didn't say it, but like he said, "Stop, bro. Who are you? Stop farming for engagement. Go for a jog. You need it." Okay. I mean, they basically are arguing about. Well, Carousel said that the level the women are playing is increasing really rapidly across the board about like athleticism, talent, and basically saying that. And Miles, because he's a Serena fan, he's like, yeah, tennis was amazing also 10 years ago. It's not something new. And yeah, that kind of started from there. And well, now they're just kind of screaming at each other. And well, Miles then said, like, posted the photo of Carousel's ranking, which is currently 329, and saying, "Lol, you sure I need engagement from you?" It's
Oh my
just,
God.
yeah, wow. But yeah, that comment about go for a jog, you need it doesn't seem well received. There's like 5 quotes on this and 2 likes, and people don't seem to like that. That Caro went for that, which yeah, I understand that. I don't really understand why that discussion between them is making them so emotional. But well,
Yeah, I don't. Well, yeah, I never get involved in these kind of things. But like,
yeah, I try not to as well. That's for sure.
yeah, he posts quite a lot on Twitter, doesn't he, Carousel?
Yeah, he does. See, a very active YouTuber, but yeah, his Twitter recently has been there too. I remember him bigging up Mpechi Pericard a lot after he saw him playing in the altitude events. I didn't know he's, that sort of like, yeah, he's engaging in such beefs and stuff, but I've definitely seen his profile a lot on Twitter recently. But yeah, quite a great story. Just basically retiring for a few years, becoming a coach, and suddenly deciding to give it a go, and with very good results. Oh no, I think they keep going. Anyway, 15 all. I have to stop reading that, otherwise my brain is gonna explode. But yeah, this is the game where Fritz starts applying pressure, like the second set.
He's got a second serve here to look at. Big return. Tiafoe's back in the rally here. So, oh, that was a nice backhand down the line.
Finds a nice way to get out of another 30-shot point potentially. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Fritz really wants to play these 30-shot points all the time, but I mean, he's definitely not against them, it seems.
Oh, great serve.
Well, my not so bold prediction is not looking great at the moment, but there's still a few games. Maybe I was just hoping, I was just hoping that one that did a tiebreak and that I will be able to that I will be able to go to bed at a reasonable hour. 5 a.m. is not a reasonable hour. It's something resembling a reasonable hour, at least.
Do you favor Tiafoe in a tiebreak or Fritz?
I don't know. Don't think there's really anything to, any edge to point out there. I know tiebreaks aren't technically a lottery, but still, I mean, you get 2 good points in at the beginning of the breaker, and it might be over.
Well, there was a stat there that Tiafoe's hit 3 double faults in this set, so that doesn't bode well. And there's another one, 4 double faults. That was good timing for you to bring that up. Well, I mean, yeah, pressure. But I guess probably also a bit of tiredness as well.
Yeah, I think so. Like I don't think even Tiafoe has been performing that much better mentally than Fritz in this match. Like end of the second set, he was definitely getting very tight, and he is right now as well. And this is kind of the point that separates, boys from men. And
right. Now we've got a set point.
Huge chunk. 40-15 up, the double faults creep in. Now he's losing this long rally after a forehand shank, and it's not looking that bright for Francis anymore. Again, it's the 4-5, 5-6 games that are the trickiest for him. The mom is looking like frightened. At least I think it's the mom.
Yeah, I think it is. So he's got to put a first serve in.
Oh, wow.
No, what is that? I thought he was going to go big in the forehand again because he had a little bit of chance there, but no. That terrible drop shot. It was. So 5th set, and I think Fritz is the one that looks stronger now.
He does. He will be starting on serve as well. Tiafoe definitely set him back quite a lot. Set himself back by losing this game, obviously. Not many first serves made, as we can see on the stats. But yeah, just the one breakpoint generated by Fritz, but it never really should have gotten to that with the double faults, especially. But yeah, again, just like the second set, it just wasn't. Tiafoe was just getting much tighter.
Yeah.
When he was leading in set 3, or when he got back to 3 games all pretty quickly in the first set and then broke right away, like he's been fine holding on to leads. He's just when it's closer, it's like that's been his Achilles heel here. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's still not that long a set. Physically he might still have enough left for the 5th for sure. So of course it's still open. But yeah, Fritz does look like the favorite at the moment.
Yeah, I think
2
as
hours,
well.
51. Yeah.
It just shows, Fritz just has that sort of just a more reliable game, just more stability, and his general level, he's able to find it. So yeah,
and that stability is also something that makes you think he will just keep going like this in the 5th set. Like Tiafoe can be anything from 100 to 10 in the final set, and Fritz, he's gonna keep going. He's got that emotional stability as well, more so than Francis.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's I don't know if it's good if he makes the final, in the sense that like this is something that can also hurt him in some matchups. But here for now, it's kind of giving him a chance. Yeah.
Is Tiafoe taking a break or?
No, they're both sitting down.
I'm not sitting down. Sure. So
they're both sitting down. I'm not actually sure if they're gonna be back in 15 seconds or something.
Yeah, Fritz getting his
I don't
electrolytes.
see anything on the I don't see anything on the Taylor bottles. So it seems like it's only Tiafoe that got his personalized labels from
All right.
from Evian.
Maybe that's his like sponsor as well.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Not about sponsor. I mean, it's probably the most famous water company in the world.
You're right,
Water
yeah.
company, though. Well, can't say water producer. Producent. I mean, they don't reproduce the water, right? I mean, they kind of do. They kind of do. Yeah. Yeah, it actually is one of his sponsors. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
One of his
There you
sponsors.
go.
Yeah. In January, I think they welcomed his as a new global brand ambassador. Didn't know about it, but yeah, that's why he has his personalized labels. All right, and here we go. Fritz, of course, beginning on serve, already a long backhand to backhand rally that Tiafoe tries to break up, but does not make the shot. I didn't get my wish, but I got my prediction that it was not going to be a tiebreak.
Right, yeah, you did.
And Jake is calling it a self-capitulation as well, what Foe did in that previous game. Yeah, it's just a lot tighter in these last few moments of the second and third set and fourth sets. And this game doesn't necessarily give us that much hope for Tiafoe to kind of be in it. But of course, it was just a hold for Taylor. It just was very uneventful from Tiafoe's side.
Yeah, I mean, he probably needs like maybe like a couple of nice points to get him going again. So that might fire him up a bit, but at the moment, it's not much good is coming from his racket, and who's the coach is talking. They're talking about he wants to know when Fritz last changed his racket. Yeah, that was another backhand long from Tiafoe, and it's just a lot of errors coming from his racket at the moment. So it's gonna be another second serve.
Yeah, and now it does feel like if Fritz can just kind of stay in the point for a little while, he might get the errors, be it tightness, be it physical fatigue, be it whatever. But
yeah,
Tiafoe is just not flying right now like he was. Yeah, 10 points in a row for Taylor even. Well, yeah, that would be 4 in a row from 1540 to win the set, of course. Then the hold to love, and now 2 more on return. So out of these last 10 points, actually 6 of them were on return as well. So. And yeah, that's some big bowling now from Fritz as well. slaps another forehand return. Doesn't get the point right away, but gets the setup.
Yeah. To be fair, that was a great point there from Tiafoe. Good first serve and good forehand, and then good follow up into the net. So yeah. Three hours now gone in the match. And he finds an ace. So there are 11 aces for Tiafoe. Fritz has got 13. Oh, but it will be a second serve again.
This one might be the most important ace out of the 11, but he still has to save this breakpoint for it to count, really.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And yeah, second serve wasn't great, and then Fritz capitalized. So kind of going how we thought it would.
Yeah, I think usually when Taylor was attacking his second serve of the backhand, he would go line. But yeah, this time cross-court works just as well. And he's got the early break. He's serving first as well. Could reasonably have a 3-game lead really soon. It's looking great for him, obviously.
Yeah, you can still seeing that it was a 74 mile per hour second serve from Tiafoe, which is very, very slow, but obviously.
Yeah, I mean, he just wanted to put it in, wanted to make sure, but it was not enough. Okay, good he made that, honestly. I was not sure. I mean, given how he's playing right now, given how tight he's been.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think it's sort of mental and physical tiredness a bit from Tiafoe, but that's a good serve there from Fritz.
Yeah, maybe he can loosen up now. I mean, at this stage, especially if he loses this game, I mean, he'll be feeling like he's really like behind enough where, yeah, maybe he can just start hitting a bit more freely again, find that energy. But yeah, the last few games have not been Francis Tiafoe that we know, including this forehand return here.
I think that, yeah, to be honest, Tiafoe's just sort of faded away here, and I wouldn't be surprised if Fritz got another break, to be honest. But
And yeah, this one is very quick for Taylor after all as well. So he's basically sprinted towards the 3-0 lead. He's got 5 games in a row. It's looking amazing for him right now. And yeah, it's kind of like precisely what I was kind of saying. Well, might be the reason why Tiafoe, I would like his chances in the final a bit more, like because of Fritz being like so solid and kind of just having that strong base level, being reliable but also predictable. Like that's winning him this much. Like it's literally the thing that is winning him this much. So, well, I guess it shows just the nature of his game as well, and how he's been able to stay so consistent, but at the same time beating the top guys not always that easy. Although of course that has also improved this year. Ghosty is still here as well. Yeah, Miles is trying to say that the depth of the WTA was as good like 15 years ago. I don't know. Depends on what we are going in terms of like how deep we are going. I think it's definitely much better when it comes to like 100-ish ranked players right now than it was a few years back. Outside the top 10, 15 years ago, I guess it was still quality. I don't know. I don't think Karu's opinion is weird. I think Miles is pretty much defending this because he's desperate for the Serena era to be the best era, to be perceived as the best era. Like that's what he does. I'm sorry, but like he does the same with like every opponent of Serena and stuff. Like they were amazing. Now I don't know, like the Tomljanovic hate, for example, or something like that. But I don't know. But at the same time, I mean, obviously, what Karu is doing right now in that conversation isn't great either. So. And well, more issues for Tiafoe now. There's like literally 0 points coming in.
This could, get away from him very quickly. So he's got to find something. A couple of aces would help.
Yeah, but there's just nothing coming to him right now. Like the guy could have of course that's a bit of a stretch, but like it really feels like Tiafoe could have a sitter on top of the net right now, and he'd probably lose the point somehow. It's just nothing is coming to him, and that was not a sitter, obviously, but still, I mean, he approached the net, didn't have an easy volley, I guess, but very close to a 2-break lead here. Finally, there's a big serve that will help him out a little bit.
Big serve. Oh, another big serve. Just what the doctor ordered. I mean, if you can do that again, it's just about staying in it now, and hopefully maybe Fritz can feel a bit of pressure.
I don't actually know, Brazy. I mean, Carousel is definitely still in the Marcos Giron team, but I don't actually know if he was the hitting partner of Osaka. First time I heard that, but that doesn't mean it's not true.
Oh, but that forehand going long, and that's the kind of point that he's just not. He just can't be doing that. So, chance for the double break.
Yeah, I guess I'll say it after this point, maybe.
Perhaps good for you if this does finish quickly.
Yeah. I mean, at this stage, like 10 minutes, 13 minutes. But yeah, I don't know if I wanted to see that though.
Yeah, the double fault.
I mean, he's really capitulated by now, but we know that. Like he's won 2 points here, obviously in this game. 2 nice first serves. Both Fritz got his racket on. They landed out, but otherwise he just hasn't been winning anything the last 15-20 minutes. He's gassed. He's mentally tired as well. It's kind of a brutal way to lose as well, I think, if you're coming off the court, because like you had your chance. I'm not saying he was the better player or something, but I mean for like a 3.5 sets, I guess he was. And then you kind of just know that you lost it mentally, and it's probably a very like I'm trying to find the word, but yeah, like it doesn't feel great.
Yeah, deflating. I think it's just like
I was looking for something else, but yeah, definitely deflated around like the last stages of the 4th set, and hasn't been able to knock it off.
but then suddenly he finds a forehand winner there that's has been struggling to find. Oh. Hey, he's got to take inspiration from Dan Evans.
Yeah, that's some of the like free hitting that I was talking about earlier, right?
Yeah.
He knows he's lost pretty much, so now suddenly he's gonna make all these ridiculous shots, at least for a second. And yeah, Jake, I would agree with you actually. That's 5.10 around 2012-13 was stronger than 5.10 now. Yeah, we actually don't have an era where like on the WTA we have a strong 5.10 rank, I think, or at least it's it's definitely there's a big gap, at least. Okay, this is a very crucial point for him. I think Fritz probably missed that, right? Yeah, he missed that. So 2 break points for Tiafoe. Of course, it's just 1 break, but well, it's something. And yeah, I kind of get what you mean, Sworn, as well. With Wozniacki, the number 1 for like 2 years, while having about 6, like, just not having that many points. But yeah, the inconsistency there around 2010, 11, especially with Serena just playing a few events. Ooh, and it's double fault from Fritz. Yeah, I mean, that's 1 break restored.
Yeah, well, still gives him a chance.
Nothing major yet, but yeah, I mean, you just don't want to give the opponent a helping hand like this. Obviously, Tiafoe also pushed for that break with the first 2 points, and I got the third one as well, I suppose. But yeah,
he really
the
needs to hold here. Otherwise, it's
still GG. It might still be GG, but for now, I guess we just don't know it. That last game gave us some time to, something to think about.
I've just seen the ads there that I saw at the US Open, which I think is kind of funny, but like, I don't know, it's just like tennis propaganda around that says like, play tennis. Tennis adds 9.7 years to your life. But I thought that doesn't sound. I mean, yeah. Tennis is just going to add 10 years to your life. But I mean,
yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that somewhere actually. Yeah, that tennis is kind of the most healthy sport if on like a recreational level, just because of the kind of like interval, workouts. Because you aren't like, I don't know, like running, like cardio isn't quite as good for your heart, but tennis is much better because you just have a lot of like ups and downs, and your heart rate basically fluctuates a lot, and yeah. So I've heard it is kind of scientifically proven. Of course, the way these guys are playing, competing, training, like that's not really healthy anymore. But yeah, like recreationally, yeah, it's just a very good kind of a combination of cardio work, but interval, and also the flexibility.
Yeah, not a good start there from Tiafoe.
Well, yeah, just didn't line up for that backhand at all, didn't connect with it, and it's love 30. Who knows, maybe that one break will just be a momentary jump of the path that we were envisioning for that fifth set, but
Yeah, just
0 out
doesn't,
of 8 on second serve points won in the fifth set.
yeah, he just doesn't have that energy, belief.
Fritz there kind of like almost falling over, losing his balance, but he managed to recover and Tiafoe missed the forehand line. So these are 3 match points. Let's say that.
Yeah.
The mom is definitely looking like the most nervous member in the team of Tiafoe. I mean, the box of Tiafoe. I don't know if she's more stressed than Frances right now, though. And does Fritz land the baseline of this return? I guess he has, based on his reaction. I mean, off the feed, I would have said it's out, but but yeah, we get the 5-1 lead.
Just got to close this out, and I expect him to do it.
Yeah, he's already lost a game kind of unexpectedly in this set on serve. The only one that Tiafoe has won so far. And this is a golden chance to make it to his first Grand Slam final.
Yeah, and there was a point where I would have been surprised if you told me that Fritz could make a slam final, but yeah, obviously he's been a consistent top 10 player for a little while now, so it's not that surprising now.
Yeah, I mean, it's still partially, you know, Djokovic is out, so like technically there's, I guess, less contenders, but like still beats Zverev. And I think Zverev was obviously one of the like the top 4 favorites maybe for the title. I mean, top 4 or 5, depending on where you put Medvedev, I guess. But yeah, beating Zverev kind of makes this run still like, you know, not something that just happened because the stars aligned for him. And
yeah, he's earned it for sure.
Ruud in a way as well. I mean, Ruud top 10, former finalist. We might have some opinions on like where Casper is in hard courts compared to other top players generally, but yeah, I mean, the Zverev win definitely makes this run kind of, you know, not just taking advantage of the draw, but actually eliminating one of the main contenders as well. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about earlier. Like, it feels like even if Tiafoe had a total sitter, he would probably lose the point somehow. It's just everything is against him right now.
Yeah, there you go.
And he's done it, yeah, with an ace. Great win. I mean, regardless of kind of what we were talking about earlier, that, you know, Tiafoe was maybe even the better player for the first 3.5 sets. I think Jake also said it in the chat. He still did very well here, like to kind of manage to stay emotionally more solid than Frances. Game-wise, obviously, very reliable as usual. And yeah, he just didn't really let this get to him at all, unlike Frances.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't think it was a sort of great start from Fritz after that first set, and maybe, you know, he was looking a bit not quite at his best, but then yeah, he was able to win that second set, and I felt that was really important for him. And then I think he's just a more solid player, and like even when Tiafoe was playing, you know, he had some brilliant points and he was playing some excellent points, but you know, I felt like a lot of those rallies where Fritz was just able to hang in there and keep the point going. And he eventually started to come out on those in those exchanges, and especially in like it was like the fourth set, we had some really big rallies there, and he won that set. And yeah, unfortunately for Tiafoe, he just couldn't keep up. He just faded physically and in his tennis. So yeah, a bit of a shame for him. He looks quite upset, understandably. But yeah, I think it was a Fritz. You know, he's been top 10, even top 5 for a while. So you know, he really was the favorite, wasn't he, coming into this match, and he showed why.
Yeah, I mean, Tiafoe will definitely be super disappointed because, well, he's just gonna know that he didn't lose it because he was worse, really, or something. He just lost it, like, mentally in the most important moments, and obviously Fritz deserves a lot of credit for hanging in there. And by the end, he was just totally dominating. But yeah, Francis will not be leaving the court tonight thinking, "Oh yeah, I just got outplayed," but rather that, well, he got super tight in these last games of the second, fourth set. It was clear the 4-5, 5-6 games were just completely different from him in terms of attitude, energy. Overall, like, I think the contrast between their even like ways of expressing themselves on the court and kind of the temperament, like they were really coming out. And today the more stable Fritz mental side of the sport as well, like, it definitely prevailed over the bursts of energy that Francis can bring. And yeah, let's just also talk for a minute about the final between Sinner and Fritz. Brazy was asking you for a prediction and in how many sets. And yeah, just in general, after today, maybe today's performance from Fritz kind of impact your view on the potential final in any way?
I still think that Sinners is going to win the final. Fritz will have to come out and play like an extremely strong game, not only you know, with his tennis, but you know, mentally, if he's going to get a victory over Sinner. I just don't think that he's going to be able to handle you know, there's just how strong Sinner is. On the baseline game, you know, I just imagine that Sinner's just going to come out on top more often than not. And yeah, perhaps maybe if Sinner has got some like physical issues that might allow Fritz to get in there, you know, maybe if it goes to a fifth set. But personally, I feel like that Sinner's going to be fairly happy to be able to play Fritz in a Grand Slam final. What do you think?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Taylor definitely kind of impressed me with just not being overwhelmed by the occasion whatsoever today. That's good for him. Like, that's something that maybe tells you, okay, a final is different, but he's able to like kind of keep these thoughts away and yeah, just play his good stuff. But yeah, I just don't know if that good stuff is really enough. As I said earlier, I mean, he is pretty predictable along with that reliability. This is probably a match where he need to come out and go for it a bit more. And maybe his ability to do it will be kind of the most important part here. And whether he is able to kind of push himself and yeah, just make Yannick work for it in a way that maybe the Italian won't be expecting. For now, I mean, all I can say is that I don't really expect him to win. As you said, maybe there's some potential physical issues sometimes for Yannick. I'm not even saying about the left wrist, but like most of the season he's had issues with endurance. But yeah, if that happens, maybe Taylor can outlast him. Maybe again, just on the mental level, he can be kind of stronger. It's possible, I think. But then again, of course, it's a bigger match for him even than it is for Yannick. So that could be very well neutralized by that. But yeah, in the long run, I mean, quality-wise, there's not that much that he can really grab there. I think it's a common issue for a lot of players like Fritz, like, I don't know, Rublev against Sinner, where like they just cannot go... You cannot go blow for blow right now with Yannick because he just has the best shots on the planet. And if you can mix it up a bit more, if you can be, I don't know, maybe take time away, like some players can, yeah, and then you actually might have a shot. So yeah, I think Fritz really will have to go out there and do something bold. Whereas today, we still had him in the comfort zone sort of for most of the match.
Yeah, exactly. The way he won today is, being the more solid player, the more stable player overall, but he's going to have to come up with something extra against Jannik Sinner. He's not just going to be able to, yeah. So, but yeah, I don't really see it being. And we're talking about maybe if it went to a fifth set, I would imagine that Sinner probably wins in 3 or 4 sets. That's probably what I would say. But let's see. Maybe Fritz can, if he gets some success early on, maybe he gets the first set. He's got that crowd on his side. He'll start peaking, and tennis is funny sometimes. It doesn't always go the way you expect it to. So.
And yeah, Brazy, they actually have avoided each other for quite a while. I mean, only 2 matches, both in Indian Wells, 2021 and 23. And given how consistent they have been over the last 2 seasons, both of them, it's kind of wild that they're only playing right now. But yeah, haven't played each other since March 2023. Yeah, all right. I guess that's gonna be it then. Thank you, Eddie, for the stream. It was quite wild for me to watch this from 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. more or less, but certainly had fun. The Americans delivered with another good match. I guess it's also going to be mentioned in like less good than France's against Ben, I guess, but also one of the matches of the tournament. And yeah, as usual, keep subscribing, guys. 10K is still right around the corner, so hopefully you can get your support on that. Don't forget to sign off with your famous catchphrase. What's my famous catchphrase? It doesn't really matter, or it doesn't matter. Where's the equivalent of vamos in Polish? I mean, Iga is using jazda. That's pretty okay. We can also say I don't know, dawaj or whatever. Dawaj is also the same in Russian. But yeah, Iga is saying jazda, so I think we can just kind of say the equivalent of vamos would be jazda. Any final words?
No, just I'll be looking forward to the match and just see if Sinner can make it a second slam title or a first for an American since how many years is it? Since 2003. So
21. The Americans will be old enough to drink, pretty much, if Taylor gets this title. It would be exactly 21 years after Andy Roddick won the 2003 US Open. And yeah, all right. If that's the case, then thank you guys again in the chat. And yeah, we of course will have streaming for the women's final and for the men's final. I'm probably going to be on at least one of them, maybe even both. We'll see. And yeah, see you guys.
Thanks, guys.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.